back. I hope most of you missed me a little bit. I miss talking to you every day. It's Jason. Dan is here. You heard.
I was hoping you'd come back.
Well, thank you, Dan. I miss having our conversations. I was doing the radio show in the coach bus as we were traveling along Mykonos, throughout that island, throughout Santorini, and in Athens, a WCCO radio trip. And I have a lot to talk about. And, you know, I don't want to turn this show into an equivalent of the DeRusha vacation slideshow.
But here it comes in 3, 2, and 1.
I mean, enough of you said like, oh, I can't wait to hear the recap of your trip. I do think the world has changed a little bit, and Facebook changed it when it comes to sharing your vacation, right? I'm old enough to remember when my dad would get out the slideshow projector, you know? Can't you guys hear that sound right now in your head? Dan, you got to find an example of that sound. I need to hear the slideshow, the kind of like the little platter advancing one after the next. Maybe that's how, you know, if I have really been fully planning this, I'm a little jet lagged, everybody. I'm doing my best. I think people want to hear about everybody else's vacation. There was, and maybe I'm wrong, 651-461-9226. Should we do this sort of green light or gong style? Like, do you want to hear about it or not? No, we're not going to do it that way because I'm going to tell you anyway. It's my show. I think Facebook has changed it where we used to have this idea. There it is, yeah. So back in the early days of Facebook, when you would share a little bit about your vacation, you know, people would get annoyed and say, this is you bragging about what you can afford and the time you can take. And I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. And yet we would force you to sit through picture after picture after picture. But then Facebook came around and people want to see it. People want to see it. I don't know when this flipped, when it went from being like the humble brag, right? Like you'd show the beach vacation and sort of rub it into everybody. Too bad you weren't here. And not really meaning it, you know. I think generally today, like I like to see where people are going. It gives me ideas for the future. You sort of save people's posts like, oh, or you add a destination to your own bucket list. I don't see it as bragging. I like seeing what other people's favorite destination is, favorite, whether it's a beach or a city or whatever it is, and you see it and you're like, oh, I would like to go there. Or sometimes you see it and think, not for me. Not for me. Now, this trip was a Colette trip, and next year we're going to Ireland. So, you know, if Ireland's on your bucket list, it would be fun to have you guys go with me. But it is really cool to go on vacation with people who listen to this show. Because usually there's a dynamic. So one person in the couple is a listener, and the other is like, well, sure, Greece sounds fun. So like Dan and Deanna, we're on the trip with Dan and Deanna, which Dan, by the way, and not Dan Cook, but, you know, also you get a sense that he's been touched by the Spirit as well. Oh, because Dan looks like he's 50. Well, he maybe looks like he's 40. This guy is jacked. And so...
yeah, that's definitely not me.
But I get inspiration, especially being on these trips with people who are retired, or a couple of the people were business owners. Like Mary and Vic were talking all about like how they've donated all this land, different land for preservation. They've got like a huge garden going near their home right now where they donate all the fresh produce to the food shelf. You're like, this is amazing. And then Dan and Deanna. So Dan wanted to know if I really eat as much Minnesota pork as I say. He's like, are you really eating pork chops all the time? And sure enough, last night, back in town, we went to Vinay for dinner. And that's the best pork chop in town. Beautiful. Oh, yeah. So then we're doing like improv Minnesota pork commercials at the karaoke bar in Santorini. I mean, it's pretty good stuff. But I was inspired on this trip that you have also a number of solo travelers, which I think this is interesting. And this is something that I've told Alyssa, that if I get hit by a truck, within a year, I want you to go on a trip. And go on a trip by yourself, because there were you had Stevie there, and he was a solo traveler. And you had Jim, who is another solo traveler. And Barb was there, and Rita. And so you just had a number of these kind of solo travelers. It's cool. I think that's really cool. Like later in life, you go on a group trip and you make friends. And we had dinner with Pamela and Steve, and it just was a great experience all the way around. It really was. And Greece. So I posted a video on Instagram of a tour of the Acropolis. And so one of the striking things about Athens, it is a reminder of how young of a country we are. We're babies. The United States of America, we think we are the best. We're the best country in the world. And I do think in many respects, the United States is the best country in the world. But we're young, man. We are babies. And you get the sense, and Athens is a fascinating city. One, so I sometimes think like my Twitter trolls, if I were a talk show host in Athens, would be constantly talking about the graffiti. I don't know if there's a surface in Athens that isn't covered with graffiti, other than the ruins. It's amazing. I've never seen so much graffiti in my life. So we're on this trip, and there's a sign in the hotel that says there's a day of protest. There's a shutdown of the metro line, the subway line. And their subway is nice. It's like 25 years old, I think. Pretty young subway. But if you think it's taken a long time to build a light rail line here, in Athens, when you start digging, you find ancient ruins. There are ancient ruins everywhere. Now, imagine if we lived in an area that, like, the structures from the 1880s were buried in volcanic ash or bombed out in one war or another. And so every time you wanted to dig, clunk, oh, another ruin. Out come the archaeologists. It's just so strange to think about. And you'd be walking around Athens and you'd see a skyscraper, and next to it would be like kind of skylight covered ruins, where I'm sure like some governmental nerd is like, nope. And I don't know how they decide like this is a significant ruin, this is not a significant ruin. I mean, they all, at a certain point, I look at it and it's like, we get the picture. Right? I mean, we know like people were living here 2,000 years ago. And we did tour a ruin site that was amazing. There was a whole city that was covered in volcanic ash, and the ash and the rock preserved the city. So once they discovered it and they start kind of using a paintbrush and washing, wiping away the ash, and the ash just comes off the structure. They revealed some of these buildings had 3 stories still in intact condition. Just, you're looking at this stuff, and for me, it's like, even some of the people in our group were like, I'm not really that into history, but this is amazing. And it is amazing. You think like, here is it preserved in the ash of a volcano that had it covered up. But you're at the Acropolis, and you're thinking here you had some of the great thinkers of all time talking about democracy and talking about how you set up a government and what is the meaning of democracy. And it's hard not to look at a country where there's so much effort designed around preserving relics of the past. And then you come home and there's a freaking front end loader that's knocking down part of the White House. And it's such a contrast. It's such a contrast. I'm not saying I want our country to run like Greece is running. That's not what I'm saying. But it is a fascinating glimpse at this moment in time and kind of what we're doing as a country. Take the trip. Take the trip. When you get a chance to take a trip, and it doesn't have to be around the world, but I tell you, it is illuminating to go somewhere far and to see signs that you don't understand. The Greek alphabet, man. How do you pronounce a triangle? I mean, it's a weird alphabet.
Delta.
Is that you're like there's the sigma, which is sometimes an S sound, and
Yes.
but you're looking at these signs, and I'm like, most of them are written in Greek and English.
Yeah.
But it is a confusing scenario because we went to a restaurant, and then other people on the trip were asking Alyssa and me, like, where'd you go for dinner? I'm like, I'm gonna have to look that up because I do not know.
And it doesn't map onto the English alphabet. So
No!
it's very confusing.
It's pretty interesting stuff. 320. Thank you for indulging me on my trip down memory lane. Lots of posts and lots of pictures on my Facebook. Just search Jason DeRusha. Same on my Instagram. I have more pictures. And if you want to read more, it'll be in my newsletter. So if you go to jasonderusha.com, you can sign up for my free email newsletter, and we put links to the show and all sorts of good stuff.
And when does that come out?
Tomorrow morning. I even sent a newsletter from Athens.
Wow, that is commitment.
That's stupid. I don't know why I did that, but you feel committed. You're like, I may as well. 321. Drive time back in a minute. There was a big Supreme Court decision yesterday in Minnesota about whether transgender athletes have a legal right to take part in sports. I have thoughts on that. And I think this decision is not as big of a deal as people are making it out to be. We'll talk about that next.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Jordana here for my friends at Mini Leaf. Hear what they're saying about this brand I love.
Tell me about your experience with the night gummies.
I started using them. I think this is my third order. I heard Jordana on WCCO Radio talking about it, and I thought, well, if she's doing it, trying to get off the Ambien, and I started with the pineapple gummies for sleep. That's what I take them for, is sleep. And I've been very pleased with the product. I started with the full gummy. Now I only take half, and that helps me sleep. So I'm very happy with the product, and I'm 70 years old. So.
And those Sleep Night gummies will help her sleep painlessly through the night. Those Sleep Night gummies are a real charm. Check out Mini Leaf's products at MINNELEAF.com. Check out that Triple Diamond Pain Cream, those Sleep Night gummies, or their other great products. I use them. There's so many CCOers that absolutely love them. You will too.
Mini Leaf means quality. Taste happy at minileaf.com.
The home of Minnesota's best legal products.
Mike Rowe here with a random fact. More than half of the homes that have basements in North America will experience water damage. It's true. Whether it's basement moisture, flooding, or bowing walls, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys. They're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to waterproof your basement and stabilize your walls. Innovative Basement Authority is now Groundworks. Schedule a free inspection.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
I got a cute face, chubby waist, thick legs in shape, rump shaking both ways, make you do a double take. Planet rocker, showstopper, flow proper.
So I feel like most people have their mind made up when it comes to what we should be doing with people who are transgender in sport. And I will say, like, I do not have my mind made up. I'm not like locked in concrete on this deal. But the Supreme Court ruling yesterday, to me, says really nothing about the issue that we're having with high school and college. Let me back up and explain that the Minnesota Supreme Court yesterday ruled that USA Powerlifting, which is like a league, like a business, like the NFL or Major League Baseball, but USA Powerlifting discriminated against a Minnesota transgender athlete by prohibiting transgender women from participating in weightlifting events. Now, the lower court has to weigh in because this thing isn't done. What the ruling said is based on Minnesota's Constitution. Right now, places of public accommodation cannot discriminate based on their transgender status. Now, you could have a legitimate business reason. You're a business. And so that will be taken up in a lower court. I do think when it comes to adults, there are all sorts of ways that we could come up with more loving and also fair when it comes to competition for, I don't know. I don't even know. I hate talking about this stuff because it's like, you're going to say the word wrong or say, but you know, people who are born as women. Now, don't get me wrong. Most of the political conversations about the issue here are currently couching this issue in, we want to stand up for girls in sports. I don't buy it. I don't buy it for a second. I think most of the opposition to allowing transgender athletes to take part in girls or women's sports, most of it is because people think transgender is weird or unnatural. And do they think it's unfair? But I think that's maybe a secondary position for most people. Now, I do think it is unfair. We spent all these years trying to protect girls from being excluded in athletics that are traditionally boys athletes. And so now you're introducing, even though it doesn't happen very often, it does happen. We've seen it in Minnesota. And you know what? If I were the parent of a girl, I'd be pretty peeved. Now, I think parents of kids who have who are playing in sports are sometimes different than the political conversation around this, and that's sort of the line I'm trying to draw. The reason that I don't think that this ruling is, I don't know. I don't think this ruling is that hugely significant because for me, the number one issue that I think is a public policy issue is that of high school sports. I think if you're a weightlifting organization, you could figure out all sorts of ways to do this. You could allow transgender women to participate and not have their scores count in official competition. You're not banning people from participation. You're saying if you're going to win, this is how you can officially win. That's one way that I think maybe you could thread the needle. I think that the high school sports side of this is going to end up being a federal issue because you're dealing with Title IX, you're dealing with federal funding to your schools, which has, while I was gone, did the Trump administration pull funding to Minnesota schools because of the transgender issue?
Not yet.
Not yet.
The government's shut down. They've
too busy.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on.
Not yet. I go back to this. I wish people would discuss this issue from a place of empathy and love instead of being so 100% positive in their opinions. And also, like, for my opinion, I've been attacked for being like, well, you're transphobic. It's like, well, I guess, like, whatever. You call me whatever you want to call me. I'm just saying that Dan and I have a different opinion on this. And I think that's all right. Like, this is new territory. You have to give people a little room to sort of figure it out. What I think is unfortunate is that everyone thinks they know what the right path is. And it's become so political. It's become such a like Rorschach test. If you're a Democrat, you got to be 100%. Like, I will protect protecting people's rights doesn't necessarily mean that you get to do everything. I think that's where sometimes on this issue, the Democrats lose me. Like, you can protect, there's a difference between protecting your right to rent a house and have health care. For me, that is different from saying you have like some sort of constitutional right to take part in organized sport. I just don't see it that way, that it's the same thing. But this issue largely deals with adults and professional. And I do think that is a different sort of deal. And so we'll see. It's going to go to the Supreme Court, and no one's going to be happy with that ruling, whatever it is. But it does make this, once again, it was going to be an issue in the governor's race in Minnesota already, and it's going to be an even bigger issue. Because the legislature, as with all of these issues, lawmakers could address these issues, right? And Republicans did have a bill where they were trying to make this more clear as to what they want Minnesota's constitution to say on this issue. Do I think this is the issue of our times? No. There are so many bigger issues out there. We've got the federal government shut down right now. We've got people on food stamps who aren't getting some of their benefits. We got businesses that there are just so many bigger issues to me than this. But this one's easy for people to grab onto, like many of the culture war type issues are. I'm not saying that your view isn't valid. I actually understand both sides on this issue. But I don't think this is an important issue that would affect the way I would vote. Just isn't that primary to me. 3:32. We're going to break. When we come back, we are going to talk about a really new and very interesting competition style event that Lifetime is setting up. It's called the LT Games. This is pretty crazy stuff. 17 workout stations. Already I did like burpees in here against a former Minnesota Viking. I am certainly not going to do any exercises on our YouTube stream at WCCO Radio. Look us up. We're back streaming on the video on YouTube here on DriveTime.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO. Call in.
I have to disagree with you. I like your approach.
Shape the conversation.
You do not get to tell us what we can think or what we can say.
Be heard.
I mean, I think they're nuts. Usually I disagree with you, but on this one, 100%.
You got to take.
It's completely ridiculous.
We got to move on.
Don't just listen. Come on, jump in.
Start looking at that and not start worrying about all the other political crap that's out there.
That's all I got to say about that.
Your voice matters here. News Talk 830 WCCO.
Experience John Mueller's Winter Dance Party at Treasure Island. The tribute show is the official live recreation of Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and the Big Boppers final tour. Boogie to Peggy Sue, La Bamba, and more. Friday, January 23rd. Get your tickets at TICasino.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/radio for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/radio. See representative for warranty details.
Let me tell you about this new pretzel cheddar club. Hey, I'm Carlos.
And I'm Ebony. And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club
is the tangy Dijon with the pretzel bun. It takes it to a whole nother level.
It goes perfectly with the chicken and the cheddar cheese and the bacon.
Man, you know how much you love bacon. And I love the different varieties. Grilled, spicy, original. It gets you nice and excited for fall.
Order the Pretzel Cheddar Club with cherry berry and Sprite time on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
At least 5 times. There's nothing like using that part from eBay, and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The 2026 World Junior Hockey Championship is coming to Minnesota in December.
He scores! Team USA has gone back to back!
This isn't just a tournament. It's
Where do they want
Nice LCD.
young players in the world.
Yeah.
Right in front of your eyes.
The opportunity for it to be in the state of hockey, I think we need to represent the United States how they should be.
Single game tickets are on sale now, starting at just $39.
Yes, you're on video too. Awesome.
Ready for fall? From Halloween parties to tailgates, Total Wine and More has wine, spirits, and beers to make every moment better at the lowest prices. With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine and More. It's not sold in North Carolina. Drink responsibly. Be 21.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Talked about American Rare Coin and Collectibles. Find them at AmericanRareCoinAndCollectibles.com. 694 East on your Main Street. Had an accident's clear, but the damage done traffic-wise is backed up to Boone Avenue. North 169, a slow ride. Rockford all up to 610. 35 East, slow both directions between St. Paul and 62. If you've inherited valuable coins, gold, silver, or jewelry, where do you turn? American Rare Coin and Collectibles. For over 30 years, American Rare Coin has been purchasing valuable coin and precious metals collection with honest and transparent.
Why does it look fuzzy? I think it's picking up the light.
Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
With a well-designed will, trust, and peace of mind. Choose Matt Gutman Law to give yourself love. Call him now, 612-895-1616.
I understand now.
Law, peace of mind today for tomorrow.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
CCO forecast time brought to you by Gutman Law. Here is Chief Meteorologist Chris Shaker.
We chill again tonight. Sky will be clear, wind will be light.
falling back to 33, upper 20s possible in some of the suburbs. Mostly sunny tomorrow with a high of 57. Good looking Friday. The weekend looks even better. Partly cloudy, 59 on Saturday, warming to the low 60s on Sunday. Next best chance of rain Monday and Tuesday.
Right now, it is about 30 degrees less than it was when I was in Greece the other day. It's 49 degrees on CCO.
Jason DeRusha.
I mean, talk about a local celebrity. Hashtag influencer. Big deal.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, when I first heard about this, I thought, okay, this is a pretty cool idea, and it's worth talking about with you guys. It's called the LT Games. I know some of you are super athletes, super fit. When you look at Dan and me, you're like, come on. Obvious. Specimens. Tremendous specimens. Wes Robertson is with us. He is the creator of the LT Games. Wes, it's good to see you.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
So,
it's great to be around the specimens.
Yeah, what a thrill. Honestly. Talk a little bit more about what a thrill this is.
Well, I did hear, as I was waiting, I did hear you were ready to do burpees today.
I did burpees in here before. It was, I think I did all right.
I think you did better than I expected.
I did all right. This is beyond burpees, right? Describe, first of all, what the LT Games are.
Yeah, so the LT Games is Lifetime's hybrid fitness competition. So we have 17 stations that are going to test athletes in a cardiovascular aspect, also a strength aspect. And we're just going to, like, as you said, we're going to find the best athletes that we can.
All right. So it's all these different stations, all these different competitions, right? And so we're talking really, this is for the real athletes.
Yeah. And it's for the real athletes, but it's for the people that aspire to be those
this
real
video
athletes.
that we're showing on our YouTube just is like people who are ripped beyond belief. There's no doughy DeRusha belly in any of this video I'm seeing.
You know, the great news is right down the street from this, we have classes at the Target Center location to get you ready for the LT Games.
What is the reason that you guys created this?
Yeah, so Lifetime in true Brahma karate fashion sees things, and we know that Lifetime can do everything that is going well in the fitness industry right now, and hybrid fitness racing is really big on the scene. So Lifetime, about 16 months ago, we set out to create our own hybrid fitness race, and this weekend we finally get to put it to the test with some amazing athletes.
All right, so this is happening at Target Center. 250 competitors or so, right?
Yeah, we're a little shy of that number right now, so we still have a couple spots open. I've got the free passes for you two to get signed up. I think we got some spots open on Sunday for you to get in. But if anybody
Sunday, I'm washing my hair.
There it is. The Vikings. I think the Vikings play tonight, right? So
no, it's not that. No, it's definitely the hair washing.
Everyone should be able to come out and compete on Sunday if they're ready.
So the running, like I get the running part of it, but it's all like I'm looking at the website here and all of the different events. What is like of these? What are you most looking forward to seeing? Because I'm looking at we got like a barbell deadlift, we've got rowing, we've got wall balls. I'm okay at the wall ball.
Yeah, I think the most exciting part for me is on our website you can kind of see that the Lifetime Games is a choose your own adventure race. So that second station, as you brought up, the barbell deadlift, male athletes will need to deadlift 10,000 total pounds for volume. Female athletes will do 7,500, but you have different options to pick from. For instance,
how many pounds for male athletes?
10,000 pounds.
Not at once.
That would be a world record times about 5. But you have 3 options. You have a heavy barbell, 225. You'd have to do that for 45 reps in order to get to the 10,000.
Oh my gosh, this is crazy.
Or you go a little bit lighter. You can choose the 135-pound barbell, but in order to get to 10,000 pounds, you now need to do 75 reps. So you lean into the type of athlete you are,
right?
More of that strength base or endurance base.
This is a choose your own adventure for crazy people.
There's a little sadistic pieces of all of us.
Yeah. Have you ever done a competition like this?
I have done a few local CrossFit competitions, and Tough Mudders, Spartan races back in the day. This is right. This all stems. We all live in that fitness industry, and we're all looking, to push ourselves in different ways.
What, when you look at that type of athlete, that type of drive that it takes, what is it internally? Because it's not like the regular person who's showing up at Lifetime trying to, keep the heart in good shape and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I know.
It's different, right?
And I can talk to me as an athlete. When I'm signed up for something like this, I have a reason to get up early out of bed and get my butt to the gym, right? And get myself to a Lifetime. There are plenty of mornings where if I don't have something I'm signed up for, I might hit that snooze button a couple times. But I know as an athlete, if I'm signed up for something, I want to bring my best. So this is going to help me in my training regimen as well.
There is a business side of this where you hear about, there's this other hybrid competition called High Rocks, right? Which this thing is enormous. Like 1.5 million people are taking part of this. What's the vision for Lifetime in creating their own entry into this world?
Yeah, the great part about High Rocks is Lifetime Games is not designed to compete against High Rocks. We are
Why not?
Vastly different race.
Take them down.
And the thing is, we believe that there's enough space for both of us to have success. What you'll find at the LT Games, and spectators are welcome this weekend, is that we have a smaller competition field. High Rocks is great. This is me not trying to talk bad, but High Rocks is a business.
Sure.
Lifetime Games, LT Games, is not a business. It's one part of an enterprise. So we're here to provide a premier experience for all athletes that are looking to get themselves into a competition.
All right. People can come and check this out this weekend, which I think our listeners, this would be pretty fun to see. How do you go do it?
Yep. We have the website, lifetime.ltgames. You can follow us on Instagram as well. That's lifetime.ltgames. You can register for a spectator ticket. It is a free ticket. We just want to make sure that we're tracking everyone that comes through the door. We have heats starting bright and early on Saturday, 7:30 a.m. Our highlighted heats with some of the professional athletes that are going to be in town is from 2 to 4 p.m. on Saturday. And then, like I said, you guys are competing on Sunday because we still have those open spots. So 9 to noon on Sunday.
Pretty fun. In the top, if you win this thing, what do you get?
Yeah, we have two.
Besides, like a visit to the chiropractor on Monday.
We have two divisions. We have a male and female division right now, and male and athlete have two prize pools. First place will take home $5,000. Second place takes home $3,000. Third place will take $1,000. We have fourth at $750, and fifth place will take home $500.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Not great. $500.
Do you want to?
You're gonna need. I'm gonna need more than $500 for that. That is for sure. Pretty fun. I love it. I think it's just any way that we can get people. Most people, you're gonna see this, and you're not gonna be like, I'm gonna go compete. But maybe it does inspire you to like, oh, I could do that, or here's something I could work on, or that sort of idea.
Yep. And that's why we've got the class. We've got the beautiful space set up at the Target Center. So we've got the classes to get our athletes and anybody that's interested ready, alongside with all the other great classes that you're going to find at Lifetime.
Pretty cool. Wes Robertson, director of all of these sort of races and coordinators, and the creator of the LT Games. Thanks, Wes.
Thanks for having me.
I feel really out of shape now. Like a week, 12 days of eating and drinking in Greece. I could never do that jump. I did a lot of stairs. I'll tell you, there were a lot of,
that counts. That's not nothing.
That's something.
Yeah.
It's 3:45. We are going to break. We will be back with more Drive Time with DeRusha back in a minute here on CC.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha. Video streaming live on YouTube and always on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, it's Jason here with a suggestion. Maybe now you have been back to work, back in the office, and you look around, you're like, you know what? I am wearing the same dang suit that I was wearing before COVID. And it's time to update my fashion. It's time to be the best dressed guy in the office. It's time to get to J.H. and Sons at the Galleria in Edina. Now, right now, if you're watching on the live stream, I'm wearing a jacket that I got at J.H. and Sons because, yes, they are a tremendous place to go when you're looking for tailored clothing. Their suits are unbelievable. It's sort of fundraiser gala season right now, and they're doing a lot of great suits, great tuxes, but especially back to work. A lot of guys looking to up their game. It is cool to be the best dressed guy in the office. And J.H. and Sons at the Galleria can do that at your price point and at your fashion sense. They will take care of you. They get to know you.
That is the difference, right? You can shop online, you can shop wherever you want, but you are not going to get the personal service that you get at J.H. & Sons almost anywhere else. Kevin and Bryce and Dean and Chuck have been dressing men in the Twin Cities for decades. They will make you look outstanding. Go check it out. Tell them you heard about it on Drive Time with DeRusha. You can sign up for their email list. I got an email from them today about a special event they've got coming up in a couple of weeks. So sign up for that email list at jhandsons.com.
Working as a dedicated Fidelity advisor, I always ask, what's important to you? I'll look at those priorities and goals alongside your full financial picture to build a comprehensive plan designed to help grow and protect your wealth. With proactive portfolio insights and an eye on taxes, I'm here to help you make the most of your money. I'm Laura Maxwell, and I'm a dedicated Fidelity advisor. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So my sandwich shop was opening in a week and I needed signage.
A week is plenty of time to panic.
I went to Staples. They printed banners, posters, and flyers to promote my grand opening.
All in time for your grand closing.
Nope, I had it same day. I even got $125 off my order.
Holy onions! For all your business printing, Staples.
That was easy.
Now save up to $125 on custom print orders. In-store and online, same day if ordered by 12 p.m. Into 11/1 exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Jordana here for my friends at Mini Leaf. Hear what they're saying about this brand I love.
Tell me about your experience with the night gummies.
I started using them. I think this is my third order. I heard Jordana on WCCO Radio talking about it, and I thought, well, if she's doing it, trying to get off the Ambien, and I started with the pineapple gummies for sleep. That's what I take them for, is sleep. And I've been very pleased with the product. I started with the full gummy. Now I only take half, and that helps me sleep. So I'm very happy with the product, and I'm 70 years old. So.
And those Sleep Night gummies will help her sleep painlessly through the night. Those Sleep Night gummies are a real charm. Check out Mini Leaf's products at MINNELEAF.com. Check out that Triple Diamond Pain Cream, those Sleep Night gummies, or their other great products. I use them. There's so many CCOers that absolutely love them. You will too.
Mini Leaf means quality. Taste happy at minileaf.com.
The home of Minnesota's best legal products.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments, including pills, chews, and more, 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
You're going to find speeds below the posted, making your round South 35W past 98th Street down to Highway 13. South 169 is jammed up 494 to 101. 494 northbound, watching slowdowns there as you make way toward Highway 62 all the way up to County Road 6. 610 eastbound's jammed up 169 to Highway 252. And you're going to find things or so for 694 eastbound has been at the start of the rush as you make way between Boone Avenue all the way out to 35W. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
No one knows Twin Cities businesses like locals. With decades of experience here in the Twin Cities, Robert Half connects skilled professionals in finance, technology, admin, and more. Visit roberthalf.com/Twin Cities.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Forecast brought to you by Robert Half. Visit roberthalf.com/Twin Cities. Tonight, clear. The low will be 33 degrees. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, high of 57. Saturday, not bad, high of 59. The average high is 54. That's the biggest thing that changed when I was gone over the last 12 days. 54 is average. And look how many layers I have on today, though. I'm so happy about it. Right now, it's 50 on CC.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha.
The greatest display of ignorance, unfounded blather, recycled old nonsense, total laughingstock, and embarrassment.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
You're selfish, 9, you're jaded, 8, the dumbest guy I've dated.
I read a story this afternoon at the Minneapolis St. Paul Business Journal. I heard of it. Because my friend Houston White, who is the entrepreneur behind the Get Down Coffee Company, Houston is teaming up with the Minneapolis Club. So Houston at Target sells like his own fashion line and golf wear, and he's got his coffee, and he's changing his coffee shop in North Minneapolis to be a restaurant. But he's going to help rebrand the Minneapolis Club, make it a little more approachable, which is pretty cool. That's part of why I am a member over there. They're trying, it's a 140-year-old club. It's beautiful right here in downtown Minneapolis, but they're really trying to be more open. It's not just for the CEO types. It's for everybody. It's a place to come together. So love that Houston is going to be involved, and they're going to have new gear and new clothing. So I think like a Minneapolis club, like a little sweatshirt or something would be cool. Houston White style. So good stuff there. Speaking of Target, the news breaking over the last half hour that Target is laying off about 1,000 employees, and they are at the corporate headquarters. So this is a major deal for Minneapolis and St. Paul and the whole state, the region. A Star Tribune reporting just within the last half hour. 1,800 positions will be cut from corporate headcount. This is the second largest downsizing they've ever done from their headquarters staff, according to the Strib. So 800 open positions gone. 1,000 people. Man, doesn't this suck, though, Dan? It is Thursday, and affected employees won't learn their status until Tuesday. So not only are 1,000 people going to lose their jobs, but about 8,000 people will enjoy a nice long weekend wondering if they're going to be one of the 1,000 people. I don't know. Is it better to have notice that this is coming? Or is it better to just walk in the office and be told you're done?
I think it's better to just tear off the Band-Aid.
I don't want a weekend of
where you're sitting wondering if it's it's you, but it hasn't been officially announced yet. That's a different thing. But if you're not sure if it's you or not, and you got to sit all weekend and wonder if you're still gonna have a job come next Tuesday, nah, just pull off the Band-Aid. Let's go.
People will get paid through January 3rd, and the usual sort of
sure.
But Target is saying that this is not an economic thing. It's more that they become sort of bloated. I think there's little question that when you look at Walmart and their speed of innovation over the last couple of years, it's been a much more innovative company than our guys. And obviously I feel like all of us in Minnesota, you feel a certain amount of ownership of Target. It feels like it belongs to us. But the world changes, right? And you got to keep up with it. And maybe it is. Maybe it's too big. Maybe they have too many corporate employees. I don't know.
And maybe they're saying that it's not economic, and that just is a little hollow given the very public issues they've had over the last year or two.
11 consecutive quarters of flat or declining sales. They've lost ground to Walmart, Amazon, and Costco.
Not to mention the PR issues that they've had.
Yeah. I mean, as always, these things are a little column A, a little column B, right? In 2015, they laid off 1,700 workers and 1,400 open positions went unfilled. That was after their Canada expansion that flopped. So, big news. I mean, 1,000 people. Obviously, Target just recently called corporate employees back to the office. So, 1,000 of these people, they don't all live here, but most of them are us, our neighbors. So I'm thinking about you, all my friends who work for Target corporate. I'm thinking about you over this long weekend. Ugh, no good. When we come back, big gambling news, big gambling arrest.
MGM Wine and Spirits is the choice for savings, service, and a great selection of spirits, premixed cocktails, wines, and of course, ice-cold beers and hard seltzers. With over 30 locations throughout the Twin Cities and beyond, there's an MGM near you. Head to MGMWineandSpirits.com to find a convenient location in your area. Get social. Follow MGM on Facebook and Instagram for all the latest news and trends. Make great moments with MGM Wine and Spirits, your locally owned and operated choice for over 50 years. Save time, save money. Shop MGM.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Are you tired of online threats? Then get an antivirus. It's the only online protection you will ever need.
Disclaimer: an antivirus is just half protection online. It will not protect you from snoopers or encrypt your traffic. So get better online protection with NordVPN. NordVPN will encrypt your traffic, protect you from malware and phishing, and stop annoying ads. Save 77% on NordVPN and get 3 extra months.
Experience John Mueller's Winter Dance Party at Treasure Island. The tribute show is the official live recreation of Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and the Big Boppers' final tour. Boogie to Peggy Sue, La Bamba, and more. Friday, January 23rd. Get your tickets at TICasino.com.
From weather alerts to world events, when it matters, you hear it here. News Talk 830 WCCO, KMNV HD2, Minneapolis, St. Paul. Streaming live on the free Odyssey app.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Cammie McCormick. Day 23 of the government shutdown. The focus is on federal workers missing their pay. CBS's Caitlin Huey-Burns has the latest from Capitol Hill.
Because there is no movement on this short-term resolution that they've been voting over and over again. You have both parties putting forward proposals to pay different sectors kind of in piecemeal. And we've not seen any success with any of those yet.
The Republican plan has already failed in a vote today. President Trump has scrapped plans to deploy federal agents to San Francisco.
To the companies that are there that are all working, and those are the people that asked me, could you do away with the surge and let's see how it works? And we'll do that. If we need to, we'll do it. But it's possible that we won't need to, and we will be focusing on other places like Chicago.
Matt Bigler reports there were protests this morning ahead of the expected deployment.
The Border Patrol literally arrived with a bang in the Bay Area. Agents setting off flashbang grenades to disperse a large crowd blocking the entrance to a Coast Guard base.
It was loud, it hurt people's ears. The people who were closer were coughing and saying that they were having trouble breathing.
At least 2 protesters suffered minor injuries. Rabbi Kat Zavis says they plan to continue standing up for immigrant rights, even if President Trump's planned surge of federal forces to San Francisco is being called off.
So we are here to protect people, regardless of what Trump says.
Matt Bigler for CBS News, Oakland, California.
Peter King reports some prominent NBA names are among the more than 30 people arrested this morning in 2 separate gambling probes.
The indictments are for allegedly rigged poker games, partly run by organized crime. Former athletes were used to attract starstruck but unsuspecting bettors. U.S. Attorney Joseph Nocella on the big names arrested.
Chauncey Billups, who at the time of the scheme was a former NBA player and is currently the head coach of the Portland Trailblazers. And also Damon Jones, a former NBA player and coach.
A second probe involves betting on NBA games based on confidential information. Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier among those indicted. He was arrested in Orlando this morning.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio is the latest administration official to travel to Israel in support of the Gaza peace plan. CBS's Holly Williams.
That ceasefire has held more or less for more than 13 days now, although at times it has appeared to be teetering on the brink of collapse.
Asked today about a symbolic vote by Israel's parliament to annex the West Bank, President Trump said they're not going to do anything with the West Bank. On Wall Street, at the closing bell, stocks were higher, the Dow up 144. This is CBS News.
The annual Progressive Keys to Progress program provides vehicles to deserving veterans, helping our heroes drive their lives forward. Learn more at keystoprogress.com.
Minnesota's trusted voice every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Fair skies and 49 degrees at 4:03. Good afternoon. I'm Susie Jones. The hour's top story, a massive welcome home party for Sophia Forches, who was shot in the head on August 27th in the mass shooting at Annunciation Catholic Church and School in Minneapolis. She is the last victim in the shooting to go home. Now, she left Gillette Children's in St. Paul and was escorted by police, emergency responders, and others supporting her, making several stops, including this one here at Hennepin Healthcare, where she was greeted by her surgeon and many others who helped to save her life. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry was there at the school when she made her appearance.
She looked great. It's joyful, happy, beautiful, incredible. I mean, strong, resilient. I mean, every possible superlative that I could attach.
And since the shooting, her family has reported she's made steady progress, saying that her resilience continues to inspire hope at every step in her recovery. Big news out of Target this afternoon. The company announcing it's cutting 1,800 positions from its corporate headcount. That's the second largest downsizing of its headquarters staff in over a decade. University of Minnesota marketing professor George John says this may just be par for the course, though, in today's business world.
It just seems to be a feature of our economy today, whether companies are doing well or doing poorly. You see layoffs. You see layoffs at Amazon. You see layoffs at Microsoft. You see layoffs at Google. And those are among the stocks that are the highest high flyers in the stock market.
And those affected will reportedly learn their fate next Tuesday. Minnesota state lawmakers are coming together to see how they might be able to help federal workers here in the state as the federal shutdown, now in its 23rd day.
As the government shutdown continues into its third week, a Senate subcommittee convened in Richfield, where AFGE President Mark Johnson brought forward some of the ongoing struggles for TSA workers.
One of my stewards says, well, my landlord says that there's no grace period on November 1st and that there is a $50 a day late charge. She also indicated that XL Energy is not willing to work with her either.
He says he and the nearly 800 unpaid TSA workers in the Twin Cities are stretching their budgets thin, forcing them to use local food banks already overwhelmed by demand. In Richfield, I'm Taylor Rivera. News Talk 830 WCCO.
Jason, there are a lot of famous haunted houses in Minnesota, like the Wabasha Street Caves, the Four Paws Restaurant in St. Paul, the Anderson House in Wabasha, Minnesota, all described as being haunted. Well, the Twin Cities Paranormal Society is hosting two events this weekend in Stillwater at the Warden's House. Have you ever heard of the Warden's House?
I have not heard. I've been to all those others, but not the Warden.
The Warden. There, folks can learn this weekend, tonight, tomorrow night and Saturday, about the history of the building and the ghosts that still wander the halls. Here's Thomas Troop. He's one of the ghost investigators.
Our team is scientific. We don't go off of feelings. Yes, there are places you don't.
Stop it.
Come on.
I didn't get that feeling here, but again, we don't lean into that when we talk about stuff.
I was there. I felt them. I
Did
felt
you?
them. Yeah.
His team is scientific.
Scientific.
They do not-
Electromagnetic field.
Yeah, I've been on one of those ghost bits with one of the ghost investigators, and they got their little things.
Yeah.
and-
But there's a lot. This is pretty cool, though. I will
do you
say
believe in ghosts?
I do. But first of all,
I do too.
First of all, what I want to say about this site that people should go to, it's on Main Street in Stillwater. It was the first Warden's House. It was next to the first state prison. So the museum, the Warden's House, is actually a museum. So you go in there and you learn about all the people in prison that died.
Yeah.
There was also a Native American war, very one-sided war that took place before this was built. So there's a lot of angst in the spiritual world at this site.
Do you think it's bad luck if you call your wife the warden?
No.
Does that
no.
stimulate the ghosts?
Well, shoot. No, I will tell you what does stimulate the ghosts, if you want to know.
Yeah.
Music.
Oh.
So we played a little creepy music.
Creepy. The ghosts like the creepy.
It did. We went,
Why wouldn't ghosts just like a banger, like a nice like Taylor Swift song
Nope.
or Selena Gomez or something?
Maybe. I know. We didn't play that. We played something else.
Take that back to Mr. Science.
Mr.
Scientific.
Stop it. Anyway, it is fun, and they do have tickets, so it's tomorrow,
And
Friday,
Stillwater,
and Saturday.
always a win.
Such a beauty. And
I
you know
love
what? They have great Halloween decorations. Many of those old houses have really
Nice.
done it up.
Very
So,
good.
all right, I'll break now, and we'll do traffic and weather.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Brought to you by American Rare Coin and Collectibles. Find them at AmericanRareCoinAndCollectibles.com. 494 westbound Minnesota River. Got an accident working there. Left lane shut down. Things are jammed up as you make way past 35E. 35W northbound near 36th Street. Crash off to the right. It's already a bit congested. 42nd into downtown Minneapolis. 394 eastbound is jammed up into downtown as well. Past 100. 494 northbound. Get ready for your slowdowns coming up from 212 to County Road 6. And slowdowns continue. 694 eastbound Boone Avenue out to Rice Street. When a loved one passes, or it's time to sell an estate, the valuables left behind can feel overwhelming. At American Rare Coin and Collectibles in Bloomington, they help navigate these moments with clarity and care. Peace of mind starts with your appointment at AmericanRareCoinAndCollectibles.com. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
And here is WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
Another chilly night tonight under a clear sky, falling back to 33. Plenty of sunshine tomorrow. It will finally warm above average again with a high up around 57. And the warming trend continues, partly cloudy 59 on Saturday into the low 60s on Sunday.
All right, we're at 49 degrees right now. Fair skies in the Twin Cities. It's News Talk 830 WCCO.
Headlines that keep you informed. Conversations that keep you plugged in. News Talk 830 WCCO. Good questions. Topics you'll probably talk about at dinner. Places to go for dinner. This is the Ride Home Reimagined. Welcome to Drive Time with DeRusha. Now, here's Jason DeRusha.
Oh, it's good to be back with you. I was a little crabby about coming back before. It's Jason. It's Drive Time. I've been gone for 12 days. I don't know. How many shows did I miss? Just eight. That's a lot.
Not that I was counting.
I don't take that much vacation off.
You really don't.
It's weird to take vacation days when you have a show that has your name on it. You feel a little guilty about it, you know? I have another day coming up, not next week, but the week after, because young Sam has family weekend out at USC.
Oh, fun.
So it's off to Los Angeles for that. Now, Sam is in, I don't know, maybe people have thoughts on this. Like, Sam is our first kid who's in a fraternity. So Seth, no fraternity in New York. Alyssa and I were not in sororities or fraternities. So I don't really know anything about this fraternity life. If your kid or grandkid is in a fraternity, I was talking about this with my friend Sonny at dinner last night. Maybe this is the question to ask people right now. This is not what I was going to talk about, but now I'm talking about it. 651-461-9226. When you were in college, would you have been a friend of somebody who is in a fraternity or a sorority? Because I think, as a Marquette student, if I met someone who told me they were in a fraternity, my initial reaction would be, I'm happy for you, but you are probably not for me. right? Because you have this idea of the frat boy. And to me, the frat, and this is what we told Sam when Sam told us he was joining a fraternity. We said, can I say this word on the radio?
I'll hover over the button. You go ahead and give it a shot.
We told Sam, just, we're happy for you. Good luck in the fraternity. Don't become a douchebag.
Yeah, you're fine.
All right. Whew. I don't know. I mean, a little bit of time in Greece. I don't know what the rules are over there. You can say whatever you want. Pete is in Bloomington. Pete's on the CCO talking text line. Pete, would you have been friend with a frat boy?
Oh, exactly. I would. I am one. But let me say something. Your advice to your son.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good advice for anybody.
That's
has
true.
Nothing to do with has nothing to do with fraternities. It's important to know though that there are social fraternities, there are professional fraternities, there are academic fraternities. There's categories.
I think he's in one of these douchebag fraternities, though. That's sort of my read on the deal.
What are they focused on any certain thing other than
They seem to be quite. They seem to be quite focused on sororities. It's my.
Well, not all bad, but there are different kinds, and so I belonged to a social professional fraternity. Most everybody was in the same general major, if you will.
Yeah.
Related fields. So that created a lot of synergy for study, for learning about professors, for helping with labs.
But
papers.
Did you guys have like a frat house, or were you? It was just like you were part of this organization.
Oh no. We had a frat house. There was about 40 living there. We had a house mother. She taught everything from etiquette lessons to various other things. We had a sit-down dinner most every night of the week, Monday through Friday. Monday night was suit and tie. We were not allowed dessert until you serenaded the house mother. A lot of very good and proper things, manners. Having her there provided a level of respect for that elder generation that sometimes you lose track of when you're off in college. I never lost that with her there.
Adult beverages. Any adult beverages a part of the equation?
Yeah,
I
certainly.
mean, yeah, of course. Well, I mean, I wasn't in a fraternity, but even though I went to a Jesuit university, it wasn't it wasn't the nunnery there. I mean, that wasn't what we were doing.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, yeah, I mean, a lot can be said for that son or nephew or brother or cousin that is in or near the Greek system on campus somewhere. But honestly, if you peel back the layers and think about the thoughts you have and the advice you'd give and the stories you hear, just take the word fraternity out of them. Are they really that much different from others? Generally, no.
Yeah, that's probably fair. Although if you're watching on our video stream right now, I have a little image of the 27 new recruits to Phi Delta Theta.
Oh boy.
And this is the email we got from they sent, which I thought this was nice. The chapter sent like an email out to all the parents. And the email said, this semester we have hosted 3 tailgates, 3 parties, and a masquerade themed date dash. It is always a pleasure to come together and celebrate. As a parent, I'm not quite. I think, you know what? It is always a pleasure to come together and celebrate, don't you think?
Especially when it seems a little bit laced with perhaps euphemisms there.
Well,
but
especially when the
yet,
picture has all the kids in Star Spangled Banner overall kind of jean looking things. So
I think it's good.
Oh, okay. So a little patriotism.
Yes,
Yeah.
what's wrong with that?
Sure.
What's wrong with
Let's
that?
roll with that.
Very good. Thank you, Pete. Good call. Thanks for listening. Jeff is in Sauk Rapids. Jeff, I mean,
Jason.
Should I be nervous about my frat boy son?
Well, as a parent and a member of other organizations, I would more encourage membership in a brotherhood or in some kind of a benevolent organization. Personally, I'm a Mason, belong to the Masonic Lodge. Of course, we operate a hospital.
Yeah.
The
Masons, by the way, are like astonishingly charitable. Like the amount of money that they have given to.
We generate a ton of dough for stuff.
Oh,
yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, yeah, because, they have all those ancient relics that they stole from Jerusalem.
Exactly.
And so, they got all that money. It's great.
Well, yeah, we got everything that the Knights Templar grabbed in the
Exactly.
stashed away out there in Oak Island.
I think you can do both, right? Like it's good to have a little of each. It's good to have a little of each, maybe.
There's a lot of avenues, whether it's Lions Club, there's various civic organizations.
I just don't get the sense that's what these youngsters are doing.
Sammy's only a freshman. You got to ease him into it,
Yeah.
Well, I get to go to the fraternity house, and there's like a tailgate for parents. Do you think it'll be like a toned down version of the normal events, or do we get to see?
I hope not.
No, I hope we get the full Phi Delta Theta experience. I would like to serenade the house mother or whatever is going on there.
I don't think what you're going to see is anything similar to what was at Animal House. Let's put it that way.
That's my concern. That is my concern. Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it. 4:18. We will talk about gambling in just a minute. You have likely heard the news today about professional athletes. Chauncey Billups, who is here in Minnesota, he coached against the Timberwolves last night. This morning, the FBI knocks on his door, and he's in the Hooskow for gambling. More evidence, I think, that Minnesota does not need sports gambling. We don't. What is the upside? I don't see it. We'll talk about that when we come back.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
I miss the billboards, to be honest, when I was on vacation. You go all throughout Greece, and not once did I see the outstretched arms of Chris Lindahl. It's Jason here for Chris Lindahl Real Estate. You know how crazy the housing market is, and you can feel the change in the weather. That means winter is coming, and when winter is coming, if you have a house that you need to sell, you get nervous because the buyers are drying up. The uncertainty about the economy, the real estate market, the interest rate environment, all of this uncertainty. Nobody wants to be listing a house the traditional way right now. And that's why Chris told me that the guaranteed cash offer is just going like gangbusters right now. Sellers get it. You've seen this kind of economy where people are taking price cut after price cut. When the weather turns cold, selling a property is about getting it done fast. When you say yes to a guaranteed cash offer, you do not worry about fixing up the house. Chris worries about it. You don't have to figure out, what do I do with all this junk in the house? Chris takes care of it. All you have to do is make the call or visit the website and cash the check. Chris helped my wife and I last year when we were looking at houses. He's a local guy. He's awesome, generous, thoughtful, kind. He will get your house sold fast. Get a guaranteed cash offer. Do it today. You can make a phone call, 763-401-SOLD, or go to the website, chrislindahl.com. Terms and conditions.
Get your home into the comfort zone with Metro Heating and Cooling.
Call Metro Heating and Cooling for a $99 furnace tune-up and safety check. Find out more at metroheating.com.
Let me tell you about this new Pretzel Cheddar Club. Hey, I'm Carlos.
And I'm Ebony. And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club
is the tangy Dijon with the pretzel bun. It takes it to a whole nother level.
It goes perfectly with the chicken and the cheddar cheese and the bacon.
Man, you know how much you love bacon. And I love the different varieties. Grilled, spicy, original. It gets you nice and excited for fall.
Order the Pretzel Cheddar Club with Cherry Berry and Sprite for a limited time on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
I'm Karen Heintz with Baird Private Wealth Management. At Baird, investing and financial planning are just part of the solution. Just as important is our personal commitment to your success. Meeting with you, answering your questions, working with your tax and legal advisors so you can see your complete financial picture come together. Focused on you, no matter what. That's how Baird's been doing business for more than 100 years. Discover the Baird difference. Visit BairdTwinCities.com.
If you're still waiting for a sign, here's another one. At California Psychics, we reject 98% of the psychics who apply to work for us. So we only connect you with the best. That's how we can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And right now, new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. If that's not a sign, I don't know what is. Dramatic sound effect incoming. Experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha. Video streaming live on YouTube and always on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
Now, who's hot, who not? Tell me who rock, who sell out in the stores. You tell me who flop, who cop the blue drop, who jewels got blocks, who mostly Gucci down to the blue drop.
Pretty shocking news this morning. These gambling indictments, more than 30 people arrested by federal prosecutors today. It gets a little confusing because you got the poker games that Chauncey Billups is accused of being a part of, and that involves the mob and some startling stuff. And then there's the part of the gambling that I have always thought this is a huge risk when you have any kind of sports gambling legalized. It's a risk when it's illegal, but it's a bigger risk when you have a generation of athletes who have grown up with legalized sports gambling, which is where we're at right now. Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier is sort of the headline name that was arrested. But former player Damon Jones, who's an assistant, was an assistant coach with the Cleveland Cavaliers. There's some overlap and some connection with these. So my bottom line of this is that I have been very lukewarm to the idea of legalizing sports gambling in Minnesota.
I think that's actually generous.
I don't see a reason for it. I am empathetic to the argument that it's legal in Iowa, it's legal in Wisconsin. And so if everybody is doing it around us, being an island is sort of a farce. So I have been drawn to that as the well, it's sort of the legalizing cannabis argument that this is what people want. The people want it. And so we're adults, and adults should be able to make their mistakes. I do think this, again, points out the huge cost that comes with legalizing it. And I do think it's a generational issue. It is younger people, and I see it with my own kids, who are used to the gamification of everything. And going from Minecraft tokens and Roblox into sports gambling, where it feels like it's not real money, but it is. I think that is a real issue, and now we've got these players.
Yeah, I think that's, to me, I've been in the past on board with legalizing recreational gaming in Minnesota, and as we go over time and you start to see some of the effects of it, I'm less and less in favor of this thing. I'll tell you what, I'm adamantly against legalizing gaming via apps in Minnesota for that very reason that you hit on, is that what I've seen in young people that I know is this treating of it like it's a video game, like it's not real money, like it can't have a real effect on their lives. And I think that's a terrible side effect of this. That's not good there's no positive in that. So if we're going to legalize it in Minnesota, keep it to the horse tracks and the casinos. Okay. But I don't want to see it via apps at all. It's just way too easy to get way too much trouble there. And then, yeah, you have, and part of this is shame on the leagues, right? Because you've got the NBA and you've got the NFL and Major League Baseball that are all doing DraftKings commercials and all, they're happy to take that money. And then they're all aghast when their players get into bad situations and get caught doing things that are illegal. As they say, well, we told you you're not supposed to get involved in this. Well, you're taking a ton of money from it. I mean, it's just, there's a lot of negative effects that I'm not sure we all have discussed thoroughly enough to just say, yeah, let's go.
And I think the casual fan like me, I guess I didn't fully understand how many bets are available on a nightly basis.
Yeah.
And so the prop bets, the
prop bets and the parlays.
We have just a brief explanation so you guys kind of get the picture. But this was Shams Charania describing he works for ESPN now, right? He was at The Athletic before. But here's Shams sort of explaining what we know so far.
Greeny, Portland Trailblazers head coach Chauncey Billups and Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier have both been arrested this morning. Billups at around 6 a.m. in Portland, Oregon, and Rozier around 6 a.m., I'm told, in Orlando, where the Heat were playing last night. Rozier's been arrested for his involvement in alleged sports gambling, prop bets, and Billups, ABC News is reporting, is tied to an illegal poker operation tied to the mafia. And so the FBI has been investigating this situation for several months, and in Rozier's case, at least 2 years. And today is making arrests. There is a press conference that is set by the FBI. The Eastern District of New York has been leading this investigation. I'm told FBI Director Kash Patel has also been increasingly involved in recent weeks.
He was part of the press conference as well. I mean, there are going to be more people indicted on this, you would expect.
Yeah, well, they said even in the indictment that you saw lots of
like 30
unnamed
or so
co-conspirators.
Yeah.
And then the assistant coach that they talked about with Cleveland, that was a later.
But it's the prop bets, right? Like, so people are betting on, like,
but they're saying
how
that
many rebounds somebody's going to get, and they'll pass that information along during the game to a player, and then maybe a player gets benched. And
that's what allegedly what Rozier did is tell people, hey, I'm going to tap out of this game shortly, so take the under on my points or rebounds or whatever it is. And then sure enough, in that game, he had some sort of calf injury or something that he not only stayed out of that game, but the Heat didn't play him the rest of the season. This was last year, I guess. So
I don't know. To me, like,
the temptation there is huge.
I've never been the gambling the gambling type of person. I'm too cheap. The risk of downside, it's just not for me. But I also know that I do have a partially addictive personality, and that loss after loss to try to make up for it would be something that would be part of my personality. And so I get it. Like, we have all sorts of things that are addictive that are legalized, but I see no compelling evidence that Minnesota needs to be a part of this. I really don't. We'll talk more about this tomorrow, but I want to briefly touch on it today. DeRusha Eats is coming your way in just a couple of minutes. Leann Chinn. Leann Chinn is 45 years old, founded right here in Minnesota. I don't know, you look at this sort of moment where some of these iconic names are having a bit of a resurgence as we're tapping into nostalgia, simpler times, maybe something that would bring people together. So let's get a checkup on what's going on with Leann Chinn as they celebrate 45. We'll do that in just a minute here on Drive Time.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
So before I went to Greece on vacation, I reached out to my friends at J.H. & Sons because, yes, they are the absolute leader when it comes to suits and kind of tailored clothing. But they also are a great resource if you're looking for just, a night on the town, like the jacket I'm wearing right now, or you're looking for a vacation. It's Jason from my friends at J.H. & Sons over at the Galleria in Edina. On my Instagram page right now, I'm playing that reel that I made, kind of packing for the trip. Someone did point out that if all I was packing was a pair of socks, button-up shirt, jeans, a sweater, and a belt, that I probably needed some underwear for the trip. You know, they'll sell you that at J.H. & Sons, too. It was more of an illustration of what you would pack. That wasn't my full wardrobe for a week. J.H. & Sons, though, can help you plan for any occasion in your life. Maybe you're getting ready for a wedding. Maybe you have a special event that you want to go to. Maybe you're thinking about graduation already for your high schooler. Visit the store to get the full experience. J.H. & Sons is at the Galleria in Edina. The service is through the roof. You can sign up for their email list, too. Do it on their website. Make sure you tell them you hear Jason talk about it. I wear their clothes. I love these guys. The service will blow your mind. Visit my friends at jhnsons.com.
So you're getting the news, you're getting the weather, you're getting the sports, but what will people be talking about in the day ahead?
If you want to hear a respectful conversation, listen. If you want to hear me yell at Adam when he's an idiot, listen.
If you take nothing else away from me, it's that I don't take myself too seriously, and why would I? Just a goofball on the radio.
And at times, you're going to agree with me. At other times, I am going to tick you off.
It's about me, it's about you, it's about us, and at least once every afternoon, you'll say, I didn't think about it that way.
And look, there are going to be a lot of different things that we'll talk about. We want to have a lot of fun, and that's what we do every single night.
You already listen. We're just here to remind you why. News Talk 830 WCCO.
Swapping out your tires? There's nothing like it. With eBay, you find the feel you're looking for. From smooth highway rides to grip for rough terrain. Get all the tires you need at prices you'll love. eBay. Things people love.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/radio for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/radio. See representative for warranty details.
You can do this. Why? Because no one cares more about your money than you. Right now, many have concerns about their retirement, their investments. Are these mutual funds a poor investment? Did you know that with the average fees of 2%, you could be missing out on upwards of half of your potential retirement dollars? That's pretty high for management, especially when 75% of these funds underperform the market. At Trading Academy, our mission is to empower you to take control of your investments. Text investing to 210-210. Take control of your financial future. Maybe it's to just have a better conversation with your broker. Sign up for a free investing class, local classrooms, one-on-one mentoring, how to protect your investments against inflation. Text investing to 210-210 or go to learnwithota.com.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Crash working for Highway 36 eastbound as you make your way toward Hamlin Avenue. The activity off the left side. Your slowdown's back at Highway 280. West 494 past Highway 13. Crash in the process of clearing, but in the meantime, expect your slowdowns as you make your way across the river bridge heading up to Highway 5. If you're going to be traveling north on 69, got your slowdowns there from before the crosstown heading up to Highway 55. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Jason DeRusha here. The Canopy Group represents 16 different insurance companies, not just one. They give you options. Each year, they'll review your program so you don't have to, making sure you get the best coverage at the best price. Do like I did. Go to thecanopygroup.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Canopy Group bringing us the weather forecast. Here is Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
We chill again tonight. Sky will be clear, wind will be light, falling back to 33, upper 20s possible in some of the suburbs. Mostly sunny tomorrow with a high of 57. Good looking Friday. The weekend looks even better. Partly cloudy, 59 on Saturday, warming to the low 60s on Sunday. Next best chance of rain Monday and Tuesday.
Right now, it is 50. Sunny out there, too, on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha
This is so cool, people. It's so cool.
on News Talk 830 WCCO.
DeRusha, he has the eats.
Nobody brings you the Twin Cities restaurant scene like your favorite foodie. Now, Jason explores some of the great chefs, owners, and stories right in our own backyard. Drive Time now transitions into DeRusha Eats.
And DeRusha Eats is brought to you by the Minnesota Pork Board. Leann Chinn was founded in Minnesota, right here in the Twin Cities. And it is celebrating 45 years with some throwback action, some throwback pricing. But I thought it would be worthwhile to learn a little bit more about the history and where Leann Chinn is going today. So we brought in the big shot, Leann Jakowiak, the executive vice president of Leann Chinn, is with us in studio. Liz, it's good to see you.
Thank you, Jason. Good to see you again, my friend.
We've known each other for a long time because you've been a part of a number of different sort of hospitality businesses and other parts of the Twin Cities. What is it like to run? I mean, this is an iconic brand. Everyone knows Leann Chinn.
Well, my heart skipped a beat when I was sitting in the green room listening to you when you talked about the nostalgia, because I don't think I've ever been exposed to a brand that has as much nostalgia as Leann Chinn does.
Pretty interesting, right? And I do think we're in a moment, you're feeling it with like the national excitement around Chi-Chi's. And you think like, wow, there's something going on out there that really, I mean, do you feel that with your guests? Like, is there this desire to reconnect with maybe, I mean, you go back 45 years and things feel like they were simpler, more pleasant. I don't know.
Well, I think it has to do with just the hospitality of Leann herself. I mean, she was a big, big persona. And foundationally, when you walked into her restaurant, you felt her presence. And that is something that carried through in the way that families gathered and celebrated and participated in the brand. And this last Monday, we celebrated literally the 45th anniversary of Leann having opened her first restaurant in 1980 in Minnetonka. And as a way to do something fun to surprise and delight our guests, we have these chopsticks that we are giving out to guests that come into the stores. And people are literally posing for pictures and they're holding them up and they're sending out images to their friends and family to be able to share the stories. And last night I rolled into one of our locations at about 6:30 p.m. and there was literally a retirement community bus where all of the members that live at that retirement community were getting back onto the bus after they came to celebrate their memories at Leann Chinn and get some 45-cent cream cheese puffs.
You are kidding. I mean, that is remarkable. And you think, I don't know, today, do people know, like, do they know that Leann Chinn is a real person, that it's not, I mean, rest in peace, like she has passed, but like it was founded by a real person right here in Minnesota in a time where much, especially Minnesota, wasn't necessarily familiar with some of these flavors that are pretty common now, right?
Yeah, that's an opportunity for us. We're a very humble brand. And I think that either we are making some assumptions or we have to do a better job of sharing our narrative. But I think a lot of people are surprised to know that, yes, Leann Chinn is a person. This is a brand that was founded in Minnesota and it's a legacy brand. I mean, how many brands, especially in the fast casual segment, can say that they have been in business for 45 years, serving their community, and are female founded?
Liz Jakowiak is with us. She runs the operations, the executive vice president for Leann Chinn. How many Leann Chinns are around now?
We have 40 locations.
And here in Minnesota, you've got
34 here in Minnesota, a couple in the Dakotas, Wisconsin, and then we also do have locations in airports throughout the country.
So how are you celebrating kind of this week, this 45-year milestone?
Well, hot off the press, the governor did declare this past Monday, the 45th anniversary, Leann Chinn Cream Cheese Puff Day.
All right. So hold it up. You brought
Okay,
in the
okay.
if you're
I did
watching
indeed.
on YouTube or X or Facebook, there is
We've got the state proclamation right here.
there it is.
And that's another thing that not very many brands can say, let alone fast casual brands, is that we are the founder of the cream cheese puff.
Yeah, so tell that story because I think people think like, oh, this is like if you were to go to China, that this would be a common
Or if you went to Texas, you might think cream cheese puffs are a thing there, but they're actually a Midwestern thing. And the story goes, the folklore is that Leann had placed her order and they forgot the crab. She could not make crab rangoon. She, it was opening day. She had to pivot. And so she came up with this recipe on the spot that had garlic and a variety of other savory ingredients. And thus the cream cheese puff was born.
I mean, she was, you think about this story, right? Like she was in her late 40s, right? When she founded this.
She was a total baddie. I mean, she was just fearless.
Right.
Nothing was going to hold her back. I think, and we'll have to get some fact checking on this, but I think at that time you could not take a loan as a woman unless your husband signed off. And so it took her a while to be able to pull together the financing, but she would not quit. She did not give up. And she continued to pursue this.
It's pretty amazing. It really is an amazing story. And you look at where we're at today and kind of what people are looking for. They are looking for that emotional connection. Don't you think?
They are, absolutely. Yeah. And we've got menu items that have sustained decades of business. And so there's a lot of menu items that are from the original menu, which I believe recently there was a discussion as to whether or not Peking chicken is the same recipe as it was on opening day. And I'm here to confirm that, yes, in fact, it is.
Come on. How is it the same?
Totally
it's really
serious.
The same recipe?
Well, let me also say this. That is an absolute amazing factor about Leann Chinn. All of our ingredients are scratch made. So you're talking about real food, real ingredients thrown in a wok, tossed and made on site, on premise. It's one of the only brands where you walk in, dinner's on the table. We're ready to go.
Liz Jacobiak is with us. I don't know. I love these stories. Today, you look at Leann Chinn and you're like, oh, I see this name on, packaged food at the grocery store, and you probably have one near your suburb. But this is, at the time, to be a 47-year-old Minnetonka woman saying, I'm going to start this business. You're like, okay, Leann, good luck. But she built it and built that chain to be tremendous. Now, the other reality, and something I think about a lot when we're talking about this nostalgia, is that people have changed, right? Like the way we dine, the speed we want it,
expectations.
It's all different. And people are familiar with these flavors now, and we watch food TV or we travel more than we did 45 years ago. So how do you take some of these foundational elements, but just also make it relevant for how we all are living today?
Well, let's hope I don't screw that up. And that's what I'm here to figure out myself. I came back to the brand. I worked for the brand in my 20s, and then I went on to MSP Airport to develop all the restaurants and retail that you experience at MSP, and got lots of exposure, not just to Twin Cities culinary scene, but also to the national scene. And so I think I take a lot of the learnings from watching other brands and studying brands. And the goal here is to honor our legacy, but to create a new generation of fans. And I think that you have to understand what is important to your guest.
Yeah.
And then you build upon that. So I think what we're trying to do is find ways to bring in new menu items that, when you have a steam table concept and you have only so many locations that you can put menu items, you really have to be careful what menu item you take off, because you are going to upset guests.
Right.
And so you got to be creative and you got to be clever. And then you have to add menu items that are going to resonate with a segment of the population that you're currently missing out on.
Yeah, it's so true. And people, I think right now, when I talk to diners, they're budget conscious is number one. And it's tricky to do scratch cooking and pay people what you want to pay people to have good wages and pay for rent and insurance and blah, 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 all the things that
the list goes on, my friend.
Yeah, and the website and that you name it, you got to pay for it. And that's all in your, that's all in the Peking chicken or the sesame chicken. I mean, the cost of that is in there. So trying to figure out, all right, how do we meet people where they're at is tough.
Well, and we're innovating and kind of going in a different direction. So beef prices, commodity pricing on beef has soared and most brands have pulled back. We're actually leaning in. And so we have kept our value the same, the portion the same, and we have introduced 2 brand new beef items recently. We've got a Korean barbecue steak, which is exceptional. It's made with beef tenderloin, and it's got all sorts of spicy, delicious flavors, and it's fresh, made in the wok with veggies. And then we just introduced Wagyu beef spring rolls. And I don't know if you can think of a fast food brand out there that's serving Wagyu, but Leann Chinn is. And we're doing it at a price point that's accessible and introducing people to new menu items and leaning into people that maybe don't necessarily associate that really high quality food with a fast food brand.
Pretty cool stuff. I think, Paul just texted in, who's listening, and said there was a time when I dined at a Leann Chinn restaurant and Leann herself was sitting at a table across from us, which is just got to be nuts, right?
I'm sure she was observing, probably crunching some numbers, taking notes for the staff.
It's pretty cool. Are there plans, as this nostalgia wave is spreading around the country? Are there thoughts of kind of adding more locations, or are you just really trying to dial in the ones you have?
I think I've been trying to dial the ones in for...
Let's break the news right now. How many stores do you want? Where are you going to?
Well, we do have some LOIs signed, and we will be expanding here in the Twin Cities. We've got locations on the horizon. And I think once we take these new store openings into account and really refine our process, we definitely are going to be looking for growth.
Pretty exciting. Interesting stuff. Leann Chinn, 45 years. Congratulations. And people can go this week. They get the cheese puff. There's like a 45-cent deal, right?
Absolutely. You can get a half order of cream cheese puffs, celebrate with us the 45-year anniversary, and just pay 45 cents with any purchase. And then we'll be celebrating all month long with various specials. Next week, if you're a member of the loyalty program, you can get buy one entree, get one for $4.50. And we'll continue to surprise and delight guests for the remaining of the month.
Liz, it's always good to see you. Congratulations.
Thanks, Jason.
And thanks for telling us where's the new location is going to be exactly. No?
Achoo, Lakeville.
Oh, you may have heard that. Thanks, Liz. That's DeRusha Eats. We thank the Minnesota Pork Board for their support. And we thank Liz Jacoviak for coming in. Let's break. When we come back, I don't even remember. This is what happens when I begin. How much jet lag does DeRusha have? What is it like to lose a day of time? How many meals did I eat yesterday? We'll talk about that in just a minute.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, the number one question my new friend Dan was asking when I was on vacation, that Colette vacation I did in Greece. Dan is like, Jason, do you eat as much pork as you say in those ads? I said, first of all, Dan, how dare you accuse me of lying on this radio station? The only one who is allowed to accuse me of making stuff up is my wife. She can accuse me of that. No, I do eat that much pork. And in fact, last night when I got back to the Twin Cities, we went to dinner at Vinay. Did I want to go to dinner after traveling for 12 hours? No. But a friend was in town from Seattle. Xiaomi wanted to go to Vinay, and we went. And, that pork chop. Oh, my goodness. I think that is the best pork chop in town. But you know where the next best pork chop in town is going to be? Your house. Go to the grocery store, go to the butcher shop, and ask for Minnesota pork. 3,000 family farmers every corner of the state. They appreciate your support. We appreciate them because part of Minnesota being what it is that strong history of agriculture and these farmers who are keeping things moving forward to the future as well. So go to that grocery store, go to that butcher shop. And as I got Dan to say, when we were in Greece, you are allowed when they hand you that chop to say, let's have Minnesota pork for dinner tonight. Oh, yeah.
At Advent, we help sleep apnea sufferers avoid the CPAP machine. We know when we get the nose and throat working properly, most snoring and sleep apnea problems will subside. Our unique Advent approach using simple, ultra-effective in-office solutions can do just that. And that's why people have traveled by planes, trains, and automobiles from corners of the world you would never think of to find the sleep apnea and snoring relief you won't find elsewhere.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment.
AdventKnows.com.
Most insurance accepted.
Sir, these homeowners, they have major storm damage. Shouldn't we, pay their claims?
Pay them? Ha! They'll take what we give them. If anything, most of them don't even read the fine print.
But, sir, their roof collapsed.
Let them use buckets. Cheaper than us paying out. That's where Joe Brothers Construction comes in. They don't just fix storm damage, they fight the insurance company for you, so you get your roof back and your sanity. Joe Brothers Construction. Relief starts here. JOBE. JoeBrothersConstruction.com.
House stealing. It's a nightmare that's real. It's the FBI's term for thieves stealing your home's title and draining your equity. Just one fake document filed with a recorder, and scammers can own your home on paper, drain your equity, and do it all without you even knowing. Imagine waking up to a foreclosure or eviction notice. Listen to former title thief Matt Cox.
What people don't realize is the ease in which this crime can happen. I can take the deed to your house and I can transfer that deed into my name. It's a great crime, and it's happening all the time.
So how can you stop the nightmare and protect yourself? Find out if you're already a victim now at HomeTitleLock.com. Use promo code RADIO and get a 30-day free trial of their $1 million triple lock protection, a title scan, and access to a title specialist, a $250 value. Don't wait. Go to HomeTitleLock.com now, promo code RADIO.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Brought to you by American Rare Coin and Collectibles. Find them at AmericanRareCoinAndCollectibles.com. You're going to find a crash working East 36 at Ham on the activity off the left side. Your slowdown's back at 35W. South 35W to Minneapolis, that's a slow ride. You come in from Stinson. North 169, watching the slow stuff there is makeup between Highway 62 and Highway 55. 494 northbound, that's a jam up between Highway 62 and Carlson Parkway. If you've inherited valuable coins, gold, silver, or jewelry, where do you turn? American Rare Coin and Collectibles. For over 30 years, American Rare Coin has been purchasing valuable coin and precious metals collections with honesty, transparency, and immediate payment. American Rare Coin and Collectibles.com. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Mnexspike COVID-19 vaccine mRNA by Moderna is now available and easy to find near you. To learn more, visit mnexspike.com. That's MNEXSPIKE.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Weather brought to you by Moderna. Tonight down to 33. Cover your tomatoes. You know, it's going to be real cold tonight. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, high at 57. I've been gone for 2 weeks. Like all this, it's like the season is totally changed. Saturday going to be pretty nice, 59. That's about 5 degrees above the average. Right now, it is 49 on season.
Drive Time with DeRusha.
One time I listened to CCO after 3 p.m. Worst mistake ever.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Yeah, I mean, it dropped like about 20 degrees between the time you left and now get back.
All the leaves changed.
Yeah. We had that fake summer, sort of delayed the start of fall, but we are full on fall now.
It was so warm here when I left.
Yeah.
And then
too warm. We were complaining about it being too warm.
It was too warm. And then I come back and I love fall colors. I love the fall. And my children have had to go on fall color tours around Minnesota throughout their life.
I appreciate you saying that they had to.
Kids don't want to do
No, they don't.
Parents, I loved taking the kids on a drive to see the fall color.
Absolutely believe you did.
But did they?
No, they hated every second of it.
Of course, if you're a kid, you're like, the last thing you want to do is drive down to Lake City, then cross the river, come back through all of the, Stockholm and all the Wisconsin towns. But I still love it. I'm just thinking about it fondly right now. But the kicker to that drive was always that the best fall colors in Minnesota and Wisconsin were always right in the roundabout on the entrance into my subdivision.
So the noon to 3 guys,
autumn blaze.
Yeah, the noon to 3 guys are screaming and hollering all the time about you should never drive more than 10 minutes from your house because you got trees right there.
Idiots.
It's different when you got the big bluffs and just the large stretches of forested land that are all the different colors in the palette.
It's never.
It's just different than
It is
the roundabout in your suburban complex. Give me a break.
It's totally different. It's not really about the specific colors. Also, it's about the fact that you're taking a journey. You're having a
It's
day
the variety
of conversation.
It's
you're seeing different topography.
Sure. But yeah, you're seeing this stretch of what usually is just, one kind of functioning green color that turns into this beautiful
Now,
palette
the
of gold
bummer-
and red and
Well,
all sorts of things.
The only bummer of it is that it's never as red as you want it to be, because the red is that maple tree.
Yeah.
And on the side of the bluffs, that's not what it is.
No.
So you get a lot of gold.
Yeah.
It still looks
It's
cool.
beautiful. It's beautiful.
I think this weekend is still going to be okay for that, right?
Probably. But there's not many weekends of it left.
Who can trust? My fall color rant is more about the dumb fall color map that
they're guessing.
I have chased
don't
that
know.
stupid map
Yeah,
before where
it
you're
doesn't
like,
work.
oh, it's near peak. And then you go and it's nothing on any of the trees. And I don't blame the forecasters, although a little bit. It's a fraud. Fall color map. Just look out the window. It's my own fault for chasing the map. They never have the roundabout, though. My subdivision
They're missing
roundabout.
out, clearly.
Maybe that's the map we should have. Your lamest suburban fall color trips. Come check it out. CBS News coming up.
Experience John Mueller's Winter Dance Party at Treasure Island. The tribute show is the official live recreation of Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and the Big Boppers' final tour. Boogie to Peggy Sue, La Bamba, and more. Friday, January 23rd. Get your tickets at TICasino.com.
Nobody had to tell your grandparents not to drive while using their typewriters. Why should it be any different for us kids and our cell phones? Distracted driving was the cause of more than 3,000 deaths in 2022. Come on, we're smarter than this. Let's put down the phones and focus on the roads. Drive safe, everybody.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
At LendSeek, we know running a business takes heart, hustle, and sometimes a little help. That's why we stand with you with our exclusive AI lending platform, connecting you to over 100 funders. If you've been in business for at least 2 years with a minimum annual revenue of $500,000, you can get up to $1 million in funding in as fast as 24 hours. No collateral, no prepayment penalties, no red tape. Apply today with no cost or obligation at lendseek.com. That's LENDSEEK.com.
Breaking news, in-depth talk, all in one place. News Talk 830 WCCO, KMNB HD2, Minneapolis, St. Paul. Always streaming on the free Odyssey.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Cammie McCormick. Day 23 of the government shutdown and more finger pointing by Republicans and Democrats offering up doomed bills to pay some federal workers. Michael Wallace reports on the growing impact on millions of Americans.
Arkansas is warning SNAP benefits will be delayed if the shutdown doesn't end by November 1st. Teresa Robertson is with the Better Community Development Center in Little Rock.
We have clients come in all the time that talk about how I've eaten out of a dumpster 3 times this week because my benefits got cut off.
Meals on Wheels in San Antonio has lost $1.2 million in federal funding, forcing it to cut service to hundreds of seniors. CEO Vincent Ferris says a local business owner donated almost $200,000 to help.
It's letting these folks know that they're not alone and people remember.
A B-1B bomber flew over the sea off the coast of Venezuela today, the second such show of force by the U.S. military in a week. President Trump was asked about the continued strikes on alleged drug boats and whether he would seek congressional approval going forward.
Well, I don't think we're going to necessarily ask for a declaration of war. I think we're just going to kill people that are bringing drugs into our country. Okay, we're going to kill them. You know, they're going to be like dead.
CBS's Charlie Daggett.
Officials said to me yesterday, this isn't going to make an impact. Taking out a few boats, blowing up a few boats, it won't even act as a deterrent. And some of the people that are on those boats are fishermen who are either getting paid off or they might be coerced into taking those boats over. But it's going to take a land strike to take out significant infrastructure from these drug dealers.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio's in Israel to shore up the Gaza peace plan after a controversial controversial but symbolic vote by the Israeli parliament on annexing the West Bank. President Trump was asked about that.
They're not going to do anything with the West Bank. Don't worry about it. Israel's doing very well. They're not going to do anything with it.
The Department of Homeland Security is redirecting resources away from San Francisco after Trump spoke to the mayor there, Daniel Lurie.
In our conversation, the president told me clearly that he was calling off any plans for a federal surge in San Francisco.
Federal authorities have busted up gambling schemes that allegedly involved NBA players and organized crime. At poker tables, devices straight out of the movies were found. U.S. Attorney Joseph Nisella.
A poker chip tray that secretly reads cards using a hidden camera, and an X-ray table that could read cards face down.
He said gamblers were cheated out of $7 million and as many as 30 people have been charged in the scheme. On Wall Street, stocks finished higher today, the Dow up 144. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Minnesota's trusted voice, every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Fair skies, 49 degrees at 5:05. This hour's top story: the last of the victims of the Annunciation mass shooting is home tonight. That is friends greeting Sophia Forches. She left the hospital today in a limousine, greeting friends at school. She also stopped at Hennepin Healthcare to talk to some of the doctors and nurses who helped keep her alive. Here's Ari Bergeron.
Sophia Forches left Gillette Hospital in St. Paul in a limousine, making stops along the way to thank those in her recovery, including at Hennepin Healthcare, where she hugged her surgeon and greeted other emergency responders who helped save her life. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry joined the stop at Annunciation Church and School, where she was welcomed with open arms.
I mean, she's incredible and a complete inspiration there for everyone. Everybody that I talk to is like, she's just so affable and caring. And so she's got a whole community right now that is behind her. And it's really an incredible miracle to see her back.
Ari Bergeron, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Twin Cities-based Target announcing this afternoon it's cutting 1,800 of its corporate positions, the most in more than a decade. The shift will cut at least 1,000 employees and roughly 800 open positions, chopping 8% of Target's total global team. University of Minnesota marketing professor George John says this should not impact the company's holiday sales, though.
Most of the planning for the holiday season is already baked in. Whatever they've got going, they've already decided those plans. And right now it's just execution. So it's very hard to know why this timing, and we can speculate, but that would be it.
Those impacted will continue to receive pay and benefits through January 3rd. The Met Council says the Green Line extension, which won't open until 2027, has already resulted in $3.1 billion worth of new development in the Twin Cities.
That includes over $329 million in new development in Hopkins, including 1,300 new multifamily housing units, including 260 affordable units. Hopkins Mayor Patrick Hanlon.
You're surrounded today by a community that is over 50% Black, Indigenous, and people of color, many living in low-income situations. This line is driving growth and opportunity and a chance for those folks to connect to what we like to call the greater Hopkins area.
The Green Line extension is already a week into testing on the track, with 4,000 tests planned between now and when the first passengers board the trains. Mark Fry, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Finally, all this week, WCCO Radio's Taylor Rivera has been exploring the challenges of the working poor in this final installment in More Than a Paycheck.
35-year-old Ivan Jackson, a father of two, came to Minnesota for better opportunities and found a job, but still needed a shelter bed. He's now sharing his story of juggling fatherhood with his search for stable housing.
It does make it really hard. It plays on your subconscious some days, like, oh my God,
am I a bad father? I haven't seen my children in 3 days, but I have 5 days of work.
He says even with some support from shelter workers, many people are left to navigate a system with few specific programs to help the working homeless.
Just because we're in this situation, our outside responsibilities don't stop for the working person. It's just a housing situation.
This month, Ivan will move out of the shelter and into stable housing. He joins the over 2,500 people who transitioned to permanent housing in Hennepin County within the last year.
Again, that's WCCO Radio's Taylor Rivera with that special report. WCCO News Time, 5:07.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Still got the crash working for Highway 36 eastbound as make way toward Hamlin. The activity off the left side. Your slowdown's back at Cleveland Avenue. Driving 94 eastbound, that's a slow ride. Riverside over to Snelling Avenue. 35E is gummed up both directions. As make way between 94 and Highway 62. It's a slow ride for East 55. As you make your way toward Highway 5, heading across the Mendota Bridge. Cedar South is a slow ride. 494 heading down to Highway 13, and got the slowdown South 35W as well. 98th Street heading down to Highway 13. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Here is WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
Another chilly night tonight under a clear sky, falling back to 33. Plenty of sunshine tomorrow. It will finally warm above average again with a high up around 57. And the warming trend continues, partly cloudy 59 on Saturday into the low 60s on Sunday.
Right now we have fair skies and 49 degrees at News Talk 830 WCCO.
While all eyes are on what next year's election will look like, all ears will be here to make sense of what it means. News Talk 830 WCCO. He knows news. He knows talk. He knows nonsense, too. So get ready for a lot of each. This is Drive Time with DeRusha. Once again, here's Jason DeRusha.
A lot to talk about today in hour 3 of Drive Time with DeRusha. Glad to be with you. It is Jason. Taylor will get us up to date with the news at 6 o'clock. You just heard Susie Jones. CCO Newsroom is on it. As always, Dan Cook here. We're kind of back in action, everybody. Back in action, so why not? Lots to discuss in the DeRusha Hour news headlines. Let's go.
The headlines you might have missed without missing a beat. This is your fast pass through the biggest and most impactful stories of the day. Welcome to the DeRusha Hour headlines, starting with the lead.
And I want to start with the news of Sophia Forchas, because I feel like even as outstanding as our newsroom and Susie did in describing the homecoming for her, if you are watching on the stream, just seeing the image of a young girl that we all thought was not going to make it, a 12-year-old whose doctors said that it would take a miracle, and to see her standing and running to friends and having the return home, I don't know. It's just like, it's amazing. I just think it is amazing. She deserved that heroic welcome, as did every doctor and every first responder who went to Annunciation on that August 27th, that awful, awful morning. But to see Sophia in a blue sweatsuit with a backwards St. Paul Saints cap, smiling, walking under her own power, no doubt the road ahead will be long, as anyone who's suffered a traumatic injury would know. But few of us know what it's like to suffer an injury that traumatic, where you're sitting in the church at your school when somebody opens fire from the outside. Seeing Sophia embrace the doctor who told us all that she might not make it. Oof. It makes you feel all the feelings. Is it a miracle? To me, it is. To me, it is. We're glad she's home with her family. Next up in the lead, just a quick mention and a little bit of love and thoughts to all of the people who work for Target's corporate headquarters, as Target has announced that have a good weekend on Tuesday. We'll let you know if you're being laid off. 1,000 workers will be laid off. 800 open positions won't be filled. Tuesday is when they'll find out. The Star Tribune have reported that people will be told to work from home next week. But just a weird deal to get a head start on this. And there have been rumors swirling for some time that Target was going to eliminate positions and lay off people. But when you look at the downtown Target corporate workforce, it's about 8,000 people. So eliminating 1,000, not all of them will be from the downtown office, but quite a few will be downtown or Brooklyn Center. All right, next up, Brooklyn Park, I should say. Next up in the lead, an opportunity for you to do something really cool this weekend. It is a fundraiser from the Minneapolis Downtown Next Generation Lions Club. And it's something that I just think is cool. Jim Webb is the president of the Next Gen Lions Club based in downtown Minneapolis, and he's with us on the John Schuster Coldwell Banker hotline. Jim, it's good to visit with you. Tell me about the stair climb this weekend.
Well, Jason, thank you so much for having me on. And I just like to say, had a great time this summer hanging out with you. So
yes,
I'm really very excited to be here. So our stair climb is our yearly fundraiser. Every year we tend to do a different focus. This particular one is going to all of the funds are going to be going to mental health awareness. This is something that is very important to our club, and the impacts of that have hit us pretty hard over the past year. So we are definitely all about mental health awareness and the importance of focusing on it. And certainly, you know, if there's anybody that's having any issues right now or needs to talk to somebody, call 988 and get some help. We certainly hope the best for everybody who's having those issues at this point.
Jim Webb is with us. He was a bidder and won the experience we did over at Taste of Minnesota this summer, which is when I got the chance to hang out with Jim. Now, you guys are climbing the AT&T Tower, right?
That is correct. We will be at the AT&T Tower on Saturday morning, October 25th. The climb starts at 10 a.m.
How many flights, Jim?
35 levels. Now, that does not mean you have to climb the entire 35. You can climb 10. You can climb whatever you want. But a lot of our
I don't know. It's kind of lame
down.
if you don't do the whole thing, don't you think? I mean, come on.
Well,
How many
know,
are you going to do? How many are you going to do?
That remains to be seen. We'll see how the knee feels that morning.
Understood. Well, I just think it's awesome. And, you know, we were talking a little earlier in the show about fraternal organizations, fraternities, and different. I just think we don't maybe pay enough attention to some of the great charitable work that our fraternal organizations are doing, the Lions among them. So thank you for everything you guys do.
No, absolutely. And, you know, the Lions are the largest service organization in the world. We have over 1.4 million members, and we're growing. We intend to hit 1.5 by the end of our next fiscal year, which ends next June. So
all right. If people want to,
well on our way.
If people want to donate or help out, what do they do?
Well, we can go to our website, which, and this is long, so bear with me, www.mplsdowntownnextgenlions.com. There are links in there. We can also simply just send us an email at mplsdnglions gmail.com.
All right. I found it. You could just Google it. Minneapolis downtown, Next Gen Lions. Good stuff. Thank you for what you do, Jim. Good luck this week. I hope you make it at least 5 stories. Like, come on.
Well, I'd better.
President of the whole bit. You're in big trouble.
Yeah.
Right? Thanks, Jim.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Yep. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Jim Webb from the Minneapolis downtown Next Generation. It just means they're younger. You can't call it the Minneapolis Young Lions Club because then the old guys get ticked off. So that's sort of how that goes. Good luck on this dare climb this weekend. By the way, yeah, hit it. You got it. Cook, you knew. Trust yourself. He's like, what's DeRusha doing now? A reminder this weekend, part of I-94 in St. Paul is going to be closed. That I thought by the time I got back from vacation, that would all be done. I thought we would be done with road construction. No. Eastbound I-94 closed between 280 and 35E all weekend. Westbound closed from 35E to Dale Street. So you got to go around 36 or 280. It's going to be super fun. Super fun. All right. And we talked at the beginning about Sophia Forchas coming home. That is great news for all of us here in the Twin Cities, but it's also hits home especially to our next guest. Sarah Henning was with us a while ago talking about bows of love. Those are those blue and green bows on trees all throughout the Twin Cities. But the winter is coming, and they are taking some of these bows down and asking people to take them down. Sarah's with us on the John Schuster Coldwell Banker Hotline. It's good to visit with you again, Sarah.
It's so great to be chatting with you as well.
And especially today, right? Like how amazing that Sophia was able to come home when we feared the worst at the beginning.
What a happy day. I hope people get to see the video of her reuniting with some of her caretakers from that took care of her HCMC. I cried my way through it. I'm sure a lot of other people did too. She's a miracle, and they're a blessing to our community, right? To have such great first responders and medical professionals that can be part of the healing process.
So you and a number of volunteers all throughout the Twin Cities came together with this idea to let the Annunciation community know that we cared about them and we believed in them. And so these bows are, it's very moving. They're in Minneapolis, they're in St. Paul, they're all over the place. But it is time to take them down. And you wanted to talk a little bit about what's happening with those bows next, right?
Yeah, we are. We're taking them down for a good reason. I think that we want to make sure people know that. And that is because the students at Annunciation have asked to use the ribbons now to make some repurposed art along with their art teacher and a professional artist from the community. So they're going to take these ribbons that have been up before the winter comes, before they get faded and damaged, and take this symbol that we put out in the world for them to show that we're here for them and have love for them. And they're going to turn it into something more permanent as that reminder for them and for, the community that they're in.
So you on the website, bowsoflove.com, are calling it responsible removal. So the idea is that you're going to have some ribbon collections, right?
You're right. We have a sign up that people can go and sign up to collect ribbons on set city streets, or they can say, hey, I've got ribbons in my neighborhood and I'm going to bring them. If folks want to keep a ribbon on their personal property, now's the time to move it to their personal property. We recommend a front door or a light so that it's not tied on to anything in nature going forward through the season. And then our volunteers are going to be working in Minneapolis between now and the end of, until now on October 31st, to remove all of the ribbons in public spaces and along streets and boulevards. And then in Edina and Richfield, and really any of the surrounding suburbs that want to participate as well through November 8th. And then St. Paul, we had a group of awesome volunteers that lined the marathon path through St. Paul.
Yes.
Because that was put up a little bit later, St. Paul's given us a little bit longer to collect those. So St. Paul collection will be November 1st through the 15th.
So the cities aren't going to go and take these off your property, but when they're doing street sweeping or whatever, they may, it's just Nobody wants these falling off in the winter or anything or looking bad. And so that's all it is, right?
That's right. We want to make sure that we're taking them down to be, not adding any more damage to the environment. And also, again, it's that great repurposing of sharing it back to what it was intended for, to let them recreate something beautiful to kind of take it into its next phase.
I love it. It's really good. And the fact that this will be part of a permanent memorial, I think, is really important too. So get going. Be inspired by Sophia coming home and take those ribbons down and turn them in if you can. Sarah Henning, we appreciate all you've done with this project. Thank you.
Thanks for sharing the story, Jason. Appreciate you.
It's really good. Sarah, Bows of Love is the website, so you can get the details at bowsoflove.com. That is the DeRusha Hour News headlines, the lead. Page 2 is coming your way in just a minute. Good news about traffic deaths in Minnesota. We'll talk about that. Can a new Minnesota governor get rid of the new Minnesota flag? And a Halloween candy heist when we come back.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Are you thrilled with your wardrobe? Really thrilled. It's Jason here with the message from J.H. & Sons. So J.H. & Sons is a premium menswear store at the Galleria in Edina. I was talking with one of the guys on my Greece trip this weekend. He's a business owner in Alexandria, and he knew the Halberstats from St. Cloud. He would go there to get, and still goes there, to get fine menswear. Well, now the Twin Cities has their own. J.H. & Sons, as the next generation, is taking a legacy of making men look great and moving it forward into the way we all want to look in 2025. And we deserve to look our best. Be proud of being the best dressed guy in the office, or the best dressed guy out on a date or out at the theater. Dressing up, for me, gives me confidence. And I want you to have that same experience. The truth is, though, it can be intimidating, right? You're like, I don't know what's in. I don't know what looks best on my body. Go visit J.H. & Sons at the Galleria in Edina. The service there is through the roof. You will be taken care of, and then you will have a guy. So you need a new suit for a wedding? You got a guy. You need a date night outfit? You got a guy. J.H. & Sons wants to be your guy or gal when it comes to dressing and looking great. Sign up for their email list at jhnsons.com, but go to the store. Galleria in Edina. It's J.H. & Sons.
It's fourth down for the toilet. The flush is weak. Stop cold at the line. But Aquarius Home Services takes the field with $98 off any plumbing repair. Touchdown. But wait, the ref flags the water heater. This is a different flush. A water heater flush from Aquarius clears out gunk and buildup, keeping it healthy all season long. An all-star play for just $98. Schedule at AquariusHomeservices.com. Aquarius, earning the right to be recommended.
You need to get eyes on your house if you want to sell it for the most money possible. Putting pictures of your home online just isn't enough. You need a real estate agent by your side, like my friend, the Good Neighbor agent, John Schuster. He reaches thousands of potential home buyers every single day with his marketing system. Sarah and Paul just worked with the Schuster Group with Coldwell Banker Realty to sell their home. And that marketing system made a big difference. They interviewed a ton of agents, and it was clear to them that John would get the job done. He made sure their pictures were the best online, but that marketing system of his did so much more than that. It helped Sarah and Paul have 20 showings in a single weekend. With that much interest, it shouldn't be any surprise that John sold their home for more than $50,000 above asking price. They knew they made the right choice. Curious what your home's worth? Type in your address on johnschustergroup.com.
Buy a home, sell a home, we'll get you moving. johnschustergroup.com. Terms and conditions may apply.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha. Video streaming live on YouTube and always, and I mean always, on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
DeRusha Hour news headlines continuing in our third hour, 5 o'clock hour every day from 5 to 5:30. And now page 2. Good news that fewer people are dying in traffic crashes compared to this same time last year. Yeah. I mean, it's difficult to call this good news because still, as of Wednesday, Tim Harlow reports in the Minnesota Star-Tribune that 308 people have died in traffic crashes, but it's 79 fewer than at the same time last year. We've been over 400 traffic fatalities in every year since COVID-19. So the last 4 years, last year we had 477. So at 308, we could be below 400, which would be a nice accomplishment. Now, how did we get there? This week, there was a Towards Zero Deaths conference. That's the goal, to get down to 0 deaths. 3 factors. They're saying, 1, more people buckling up. This year, they do that observational seatbelt survey. 95.2% of people were buckled up. Sort of surprising still that 5% of people are not buckled up, right? But pretty good. The other thing is that there's been budget for local police departments to do traffic enforcement. So, for example, in St. Paul, over the last 12 months, they have stopped more than 18,000 motorists, issuing more than 4,600 speeding tickets and 2,700 for violating the hands-free cell phone law. So pretty good. So that enforcement is part of it, and they're using technology as well. The old Minnesota flag is already popping up. Oh, of course it is. In a ridiculous effort to pander to people to try to get votes in the campaign for governor.
You're a grand old flag. You're a high-flying flag. And forever in peace.
You know, Alyssa and I were talking about this, not knowing that this was happening, over the last 12 days, where I said, you know, wouldn't it be funny if I ran for governor of Minnesota and my only issue was that I would restore the old state flag? And on any other issue, I would just refuse to engage. Be like, well, you know, that's not my issue. Only talk about. But, you know, what seemed funny to me is like a joke, like I wouldn't do that because it's embarrassing, is, of course, coming up. Kendall Qualls on X said if he were governor, he would get rid of this flag. MinPost says, no, a new governor cannot order a return to flying the old flag, despite what we see with executive orders at the federal level. And we have seen some executive orders on the state level. Minnesota law does require the official state flag to be flown at the state capitol. And the new official flag was adopted last year. The old flag, by the way, has only been around since I think it's 83. So it's not like you guys are acting like it's some major part of the history of the state. Give me a break. I mean, I can get it if you don't like the new flag, but like, guess what? We'll probably change it in 40 years anyway. Who cares? A Halloween candy heist.
This is the vault at the Bellagio. It's located below the Strip, beneath 200 feet of solid earth. It safeguards every dime that passes through each of the 3 casinos above it. We're going to rob it.
Yeah, that's how they did it. 5,000. Okay, so many questions about this story at twincities.com. It's a story for the Park Rapids Enterprise. We take you to Nevis, where a trick-or-treating enthusiast had a bulk candy delivery worth over $5,000. It weighed about 100 pounds. Mike Wade has ordered enough candy to give out 5 handfuls to each child. I have to say, like, Mike Wade is pretty cool. Like, imagine going to somebody's house and they give you 5 giant handfuls of candy. He gets a madhouse of kids at his house, of course. If kids' pumpkin bags are too small, he gives them a plastic bag. Anyway, somebody stole all of it from his house in Nevis. The order was supposed to arrive before October 11th, but he had to take some day trips away from home. And now it's gone. If you stole this dude's candy, give him his candy back. What are you going to do with $5,000 worth of Halloween candy? You big loser. Pathetic. Good for Mike. That's a good dude. And a real shame in Nevis. That's the DeRusha Hour News headlines. Vikings are playing tonight. Adjust your fantasy football lineups, everybody. Tonight is the night. An early NFL preview from our friend Alec Lewis in just a minute here on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha. Video streaming live on YouTube and always on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
It is a new season. It is a time for you to make yourself the priority. It's Jason here for Livia Weight Control Centers. And look, I went on vacation and people have been asking me, Chad asked me today, was Livia a part of your vacation? And the reason that I joined Livia was so I could go on vacation and enjoy myself and indulge. And then the rest of my life, I'm enjoying myself too, because I've lost 45 pounds and I've kept that weight off for 3 years, thanks to the help of the team at the Livia Weight Control Centers. The reason that you lose weight is not to fill your life with a bunch of no's. It's so you can enjoy the yeses. Whether you're doing the nutrition plan like I did, which has been helping people change their lives for more than 15 years, or their very innovative, state-of-the-art medical weight loss program. Livia is all about weight loss with the support that you deserve. So you are getting the team behind you every step of the way. Right now, there is all sorts of new stuff going on. They've got a new 3-month nutrition plan going on. It's the same award-winning care, but Livia's got everything you need. They've got GLP-1s. They've got microdosing if you want that. They've got nutrition. So they're going to personalize this thing just for you. It is way better than some no-name online service. Go to the local experts that have been changing lives for so long. Get to Livia.com or make the call, 855-GO-LIVIA. Do it today.
Smart talk.
The legislature will pass something and not be clear in how it should be implemented.
Sharp opinions.
We make our laws the same way like a 4-year-old wins an argument at home.
Everybody else has it.
Strong voices.
But what do we call those who don't value the rules that we are all supposed to live by?
We're not here to tell you what to think. We're here to make sure that you do.
We can't even watch football anymore with our friends and family without turning it into a political event.
Where you don't have to be loud to be bold.
We need to teach character. It is more critical than teaching technical competence in AI.
Should I feel more woke while I have my Ben & Jerry's?
News Talk 830 WCCO.
I'm Karen Heinz with Baird Private Wealth Management. For many of us, life is busy. Balancing family, career, friends, and community, Plus, finding the time and focus to keep your family's financial plan on track can be a challenge. At Baird, we understand. Our advisors partner with you to create a financial plan that's uniquely yours, one that gives you peace of mind and confidence so you can focus on what matters most. Discover the Baird difference. Visit BairdTwinCities.com.
Hi, Denny Long here. Join us every Saturday for the Home Improvement Show by Lindis Construction. Andy Lindis and I will be taking your home improvement questions both by phone and by text every Saturday morning at 9 o'clock here on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Imagine placing an investment or trade without fear. Knowing that big institutions have taken the same trade as you, pushing the price higher, which only they can do. You get to ride the wave of institutional demand. If not, your plan will protect you from the downside. This is how our students are taught to invest in trade. Right now, you can sign up for a free investing class where we'll outline our strategy for following the smart money. Text investing to 210-210. We'll also review strategies for growing a retirement portfolio, how professionals profit when stocks are falling, and how to protect your investments against inflation. With a 25-year history, local classrooms, and one-on-one support, you're not alone. And now it's your turn. Sign up for a free investing class today. Text investing to 210-210 or go to learnwithota.com.
Get your home into the comfort zone with Metro Heating and Cooling.
A new furnace from Metro Heating and Cooling is on average only $5,500 after rebates. Find out more at metroheating.com.
House stealing. It's a nightmare that's real. It's the FBI's term for thieves stealing your home's title and draining your equity. Just one fake document filed with a recorder, and scammers can own your home on paper, drain your equity, and do it all without you even knowing. Imagine waking up to a foreclosure or eviction notice. Listen to former title thief Matt Cox.
What people don't realize is the ease in which this crime can happen. I can take the deed to your house and I can transfer that deed into my name. It's a great crime, and it's happening all the time.
So how can you stop the nightmare and protect yourself? Find out if you're already a victim now at HomeTitleLock.com. Use promo code RADIO and get a 30-day free trial of their $1 million triple lock protection, a title scan, and access to a title specialist, a $250 value. Don't wait. Go to HomeTitleLock.com now, promo code RADIO.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Brought to you by DEA's National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day. Learn more at DEATakeback.com. Northbound Lafayette Bridge crash in the left lane has been cleared out of the way, but now looks like we have a stall off to the right side. So things still remain tight as you come up from Plato Boulevard. West 94 slow into Minneapolis. That begins back at Huron Boulevard. 494 westbound. Got your slowdowns across the Minnesota River Bridge out to Cedar, and then Cedar South is jammed up. 494 heading down to Highway 13. Help keep our community safe and healthy during National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, October 25th. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent drug abuse before it starts. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Flint Hills Resources, Pine Bend Refinery in Rosemount. You see it as you drive by. Did you know they're celebrating 70 years of producing fuels that help move us forward? To learn more, go to pinebendrefinery.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Forecast is brought to you by Flint Hills Resources. Here is Chris Schaefer.
We chill again tonight. Sky will be clear, wind will be light, falling back to 33, upper 20s possible in some of the suburbs. Mostly sunny tomorrow with a high of 57. Good looking Friday. The weekend looks even better. Partly cloudy, 59 on Saturday, warming to the low 60s on Sunday. Next best chance of rain Monday and Tuesday.
Right now it is sunny and 48 in St. Paul on CCO.
Jason DeRusha.
You're a renaissance man of the media.
A lot of people have been saying that.
Yeah, a lot of people.
A lot of buzz.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, the Vikings play tonight, but J.J. McCarthy is just not there. Just not there. Alec Lewis is with us. Are you in the press box, Alec? Are you ready to go? Ready for this Thursday night action?
Yeah, I'm like, first off, welcome back from Greece. I hope you had a good time on the vacations that you get to take. I'm quite jealous. Yeah, I'm in LA, outside the press box, looking out at the mountains that I was gonna try to call them something, but I'll probably botch that. So yeah, I'm here. Weather's beautiful. Waiting about 4 minutes to hear if Christian Darrisaw and Brian O'Neill are active or not.
Yeah, we still don't have that announcement. Look, what is the deal with JJ McCarthy? Because I feel like, I understand like injuries take a bit to recover from, but this is way longer than we anticipated.
I mean, I'm not sure it is though. Like that's the one thing I will say is after week 2, the Vikings play the Falcons. The day after that game, Kevin O'Connell spoke to the media and he said JJ McCarthy has a high ankle sprain, and they didn't really give a definitive timetable. There were some reports that were like 2 to 4 weeks. There were other reports that were 4 to 6 weeks. And really the fact is this: the Vikings want JJ McCarthy to have the best chance of success when he's back on the field, and that is success in terms of availability, and that's success in terms of performance. And so they've deemed that the optimal approach with this is to get him as close to 100% as possible before they put him back out there, to where A, he can make the throws he needs to make, and B, there is not a risk of re-injury, which would further just cloud this season that was supposed to be about his development. So that's really the approach that they've taken, and I expect there to be a pretty high likelihood that we see him playing quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings next week in Detroit at Ford Field.
So do you buy it that he is really not, 80% or 90% or whatever the percent would be needed for a professional athlete to get out there and get in it?
Here's how I'd frame it. If this were Michigan and this was a game this weekend that he had to win and he had, full control and full say over it all, I'd expect he would play through the injury.
Yeah.
But the Vikings are trying to, and they have from the outset, they've tried to take this very long-term view in some ways. Now, I can also say that is true, but also there is a world in which taking the ultimate long-term view would have meant not having thrown JJ into the fire this season, given what we saw in training camp. So there's a lot of ways to look at it, but yeah, I view that the Vikings want to get him as close to 100% as possible, whereas there are often NFL players who play at 70%. It's just they don't feel like for his long-term development, which involves him staying healthy first and foremost, that it would be the smartest decision to have him out there.
Yeah.
Now, if this game were Sunday, it might be a different story, but yeah, we're going to get Carson Wentz tonight, and then again, unless there's any setback or something outside of my lens happens, JJ McCarthy will be starting next week.
Well, the point is, we just want JJ. I don't care about him playing as far as he's going to give us a better chance to win. We just want this season to be he needs to get the reps. He needs game time action to see if this guy is going to be the answer or not. And we unfortunately haven't seen it.
No, and it's a very sensible mindset. I mean, it should be the mindset. This season was built around can this kid who is 22 years old be the future quarterback of this organization? And I mean, again, availability has been the biggest issue. He's played 2 of 23 games since the Vikings drafted him. And when he does return, remaining healthy is most important above all else. How he looks, all that. Can he stay on the field? But I have to say to you, Jason, this was part of the reason that there were some people inside the NFL that were somewhat skeptical of JJ as a prospect because of his stature. That was an evaluation that many people had.
Yeah, and that's sort of where in my dark Vikings fan moments where I go, where you say, look, there are certain players that are injury prone and you feel for them, right? You're like, how did, you may be tremendous talent, But if you can't be on the field, you're not very good to us. You're no good for us.
There's no question. I mean, I don't know who's coined the term availability is your best ability or whatever, and it is the most cliche term, and I kind of am going to be shaking my head that I
write that down. Say that again. Availability.
Your best ability is availability.
That's been my calling card. I never call in sick. I'm like a marathon man. Yes.
No, it's one of your greatest strengths. It's the only thing you do is just go on vacation for 12 days every Friday I'm supposed to call in. Other than that, you are ready.
Yeah, wait for December. Like I'm out. We should move this visit to another day in December because I am taking every Friday off. Come to think of it, maybe availability is my biggest liability.
Right, and that would be telling. I mean, it really would. But yeah, if whoever you throw at me from I mean, whether it's Dan or as the reliever or whoever, I'm going to give him my best and I'm going to be there for him. I mean, that's just the
availability. That's you. Yes, that's exactly what you are.
Now, by the end of the season, we'll see if I'm available. I mean, holy cow.
No doubt. Alec Lewis with The Athletic is with us. You wrote about Isaiah Rodgers and some of the racist comments that he got after the loss to the Eagles. I mean, this was so bad that it got, Rodgers posted about it on X.
Yeah.
We heard a lot of discussion about this from coaches and everything. Give us just sort of, I don't know, like these fans, like we have enough video surveillance and stuff in these stadiums. These fans should be banned from ever coming to an NFL game again.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not just in person. I mean, it's all. I mean, these guys are so accessible now with social media, and I mean, yeah, it's the despicable part of this, and it's the one thing. Like, I mean, you're often reminded that when you cover this league, like how human these guys are and how they deal with, I mean, aspects in life, and just because they're your hero and you rely on them to give you the joy on Sunday, it is putrid that people would. Make that a personal, racist, I mean, for Isaiah Rodgers to receive those comments on Instagram, I appreciate that he posted about it because it is a reminder that people take these games. I mean, these games have an impact on people in a way that is mind blowing. And I mean, but it's also, I mean, for me, it's a lesson on society with social media and where we're at right now. I mean, people are willing to throw barbs all the time. It's why I try to stay off the apps a lot, and I fail miserably, but you try. But yeah, for Isaiah Rodgers to post about that, he said it was the most racist comments he's ever received, not saying that he hadn't received them before, and that is jarring, and it should be publicized, and you just hope that there's more empathy for it. But I don't know. You get to a place where you see it as often as you do, and you're like, maybe there's just not going to be.
I know. And we've talked about the impact that, sports gambling has with some of the reactions that people have, the over-the-top reactions. But, someone said you're worse than Hitler in one of the screenshots he posted. Just despicable. Yeah. People, and
absolutely.
All of us can take responsibility for ourselves. You can't take care of every cretin out there, but just trying to understand that we are talking about other people.
And Jason, one little piece of news here. Alec's been on the phone with us, very kind to give us his time while we've been talking. The Vikings have announced that left tackle Christian DeRusha is active. Right tackle Brian O'Neill is inactive for tonight's game.
And I'll say just on that news, Dan, I mean, being active does not necessarily guarantee any amount of snaps. So, I mean, we'll see if that means Christian starting or if that's active in the event of emergency. It's been an interesting ride for Christian really all year. He's come back from the torn ACL, MCL, and I mean, there have been games where he's played full, like this past weekend against Philly, and then there have been other games like Cleveland where he didn't really play a lot of the second half. So it's just been a wild kind of back and forth from his health. But to go back one on the Rodgers thing and the comments for 1 second, I mean, yeah, it is. It's jarring. And I just wish sometimes, like, if there's anything I wish people could feel or see with my job, it is like to be around these guys and recognize how just human they are. That's the one thing that I think it would really kind of alter people's perspective. But anyway,
Alec, we appreciate you. Hopefully we get a win, but whatever. It's Thursday.
They need it.
These short weeks are rough, but we need a win.
They need this one desperately. I mean, you lose this one, then you go at Detroit next week. Detroit looks really, really good right now. And then the Ravens come to US Bank and Lamar Jackson. So yeah, I mean, this one, it's an important one, and should be interesting for sure. They always are.
Indeed. Thanks, Alec.
Thank you, Jason.
Drive Time back in just a minute.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, I have some news to share with you from my friends at Tureen Dermatology. It's Jason here for Tureen, and before I went to Greece, I asked Dr. Bokiba Tureen, she is my dermatologist. I'm like, hey, I don't want to pack a bunch of stuff. What should I bring to Greece? And that's the kind of skincare advice that you get at Tureen Dermatology. So part of why I tell the story of Tureen Dermatology is that they're so generous. Mohiba is an incredible person, and they never really make a big deal out of all this stuff they're doing. Well, in November, in just a couple of weeks, November 11th, they're doing this afternoon of skincare with a purpose. So what they're doing is this special event where for $800, you get Glow-Tox, they're calling it. Glow-Tox for a great cause. So you get a peel, you get Dysport, which I have used to reduce those lines in someone's aging forehead. And you get a dark spot serum. So you get $1,000 in value, but the proceeds all go to support Citizens Against Sex Trafficking and the Power Over Predators program. So they're funding education for more than 3,000 local students. This is really cool. So you can do it that day, or you can book it for a later date. So go to the website, TureenDermatology.com. If you RSVP by October 30th, you get some bonus units of Dysport for free. But it's beauty that gives back. This is what Tureen Dermatology is all about. 9 locations all over the Twin Cities. Tureen Dermatology, TAREEN. Dermatology.com.
Experience John Mueller's Winter Dance Party at Treasure Island. The tribute show is the official live recreation of Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and the Big Boppers final tour. Boogie to Peggy Sue, La Bamba, and more. Friday, January 23rd. Get your tickets at TICasino.com.
So many different agents to choose from, and the one that really gets you results, John Schuster of the John Schuster Group, Coldwell Banker Realty. Dave Peterson joins us now. Dave, what was your experience like working with the Schuster Group?
Well, after an unsuccessful attempt to sell the home ourselves and coming up short on offers, I decided on the John Schuster Group. I'd heard many success stories about the John Schuster Group while listening to WCCO Radio. I met Kieran, our John Schuster Group agent, at the home. Kieran walked us through all the options in preparing the home to be sold, handled all the details, created a stress-free and personal experience from the listing to the closing. This is what I told John Schuster when he called me. I said, John, the experience with you guys played out just like the advertisements I've heard. Cash offer, over the asking price, and just a quick transaction.
952-222-9000 online, johnschustergroup.com.
Buy a home, sell a home, we'll get you moving. JohnSchusterGroup.com.
Terms and conditions may apply.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Are you tired of online threats? Then get an antivirus. It's the only online protection you will ever need.
Disclaimer: an antivirus is just half protection online. It will not protect you from snoopers or encrypt your traffic. So get better online protection with NordVPN. NordVPN will encrypt your traffic, protect you from malware and phishing, and stop annoying ads. Save 77% on NordVPN and get 3 extra months.
Hi, I'm Nancy Cartwright. You may know me better as the voice of Bart Simpson.
On Simpsons Declassified, we're diving into the mysteries that keep The Simpsons forever young. Have you ever wondered how The Simpsons regularly predicts future events? Who better to ask than the show's creators, performers, and writers, the celebrity guests? Be sure to follow and listen to Simpsons Declassified wherever you get your podcasts.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Things remain congested. North 35E, Highway 62, heading up into downtown St. Paul. Crosstown eastbound, that's slow. As move between Tracy Avenue and Cedar Avenue, and 212 westbound, watching some slowdowns there. Highway 5 heading up toward Highway 41. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Washburn-McCreevy Funeral Chapels and Cremation Services has been providing compassionate and personalized service for over 160 years. Honor your loved one and ensure your own wishes are met. Call 612-377-2203 or visit washburnmccreevy.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Washburn-McCreevy Funeral, Cremation, and pre-planning service bring us the forecast tonight. Low of 33, tomorrow 57, Saturday 59. Pretty nice weekend on tap. Right now it is 48 on CC.
Drive Time with DeRusha.
Most of the things that I float on this show is nonsense I've tried to float elsewhere before.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Got a hot tease from Henry Lane.
Yeah.
Who says if there is one segment of radio that you should listen to, it's the opening segment of his show. So just keep listening. Would be the smart move. You get the CBS News, you get the Taylor Rivera, and then you get Henry's segment that's so hot, I'm going to have to run to my car to be able to hear it. So very good. It was fun to be back. Dan has had enough of me. He'll be off tomorrow.
Yeah. My younger brother is being inducted into the Minnesota High School Girls Basketball Coaches Hall of Fame tomorrow. So I will be off honoring him.
You're a good brother to do that.
Who doesn't love rubber chicken?
Yeah, you know, there's nothing better than a sports Hall of Fame. You know it's going to be delicious. Congrats to your brother.
Thank you.
Enjoy it tomorrow. Sign up for my newsletter. JasonDeRusha.com. A little pop-up will show up. Free newsletter. I send it out every Friday. Henry's next.
Jordana here for my friends at Mini Leaf. Hear what they're saying about this brand I love.
Tell me about your